A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
There's a fortune in the cabin of an airplane crashed on an island somewhere in the Caribbean, and only you know where it is. By your side, sailing the treacherous channels, a smiling killer with a knife, from whom there is no escape.
Listen now as Escape brings you E. Jack Newman's story, The Coward.
You.
Buenos días, señor.
Ryan around?
Your name, please?
Frank Dorian.
You've come for employment? The employment office is located...
I'm an old friend of his.
What is it you wish?
I wish for you to keep trying with the Inglese, baby. You're doing fine.
Un momento.
Never mind the phone. I'll tell him I'm here myself. You keep enjoying the heat and checking those field reports, honey.
Vienna.
Frank Dorian.
Dorian. Thought you were dead.
I'm not. It's a nice little secretary you got there, Ed. Can she spell?
Maria does fine. Come on in.
How's the oil business?
Okay, lots of work as usual. How are your legs?
Took 18 months in the hospital in Mexico City. But they're okay now.
What do you want, Frank?
You giving it to me, too?
Give you what?
The look, the cold meat stuff.
We don't need any pilots. Nothing open here, Frank.
I'm not looking for work. I'm looking for a boat.
Give up flying, did you?
For the moment, yeah.
Well, what's on your mind?
One of those power launches out there. I'd like to rent one for about 4 or 5 days.
Why?
Oh, flown over these waters a million times. Guess maybe I want to get a little closer to them. Do some fishing. Relax before I go back to the States. How about it?
Those are company boats. You know I can't do anything like that. Sorry.
Got $500 for you.
No, thanks.
$750.
Nope, not for $1 million.
It's not a very friendly way to talk after 18 months.
I didn't know whether I'd ever see you again, Frank, but I told myself if I did see you, I'd put it right on the line. You're yellow. You let 4 people die. You bailed out of that plane and you didn't even tell them how to get into that parachute harness.
There wasn't time.
But the Board of Inquiry report said there was time enough for you to get out. Maybe that's okay for the Board of Inquiry, but I say it was your job to look out for your passengers first. So I'll tell you again, you're a coward.
Anything else?
Too bad they didn't have to chop your legs off, Dorian. It put you closer to the side. You really are. Now get out of here.
I find you here.
Where else you go on a hot night in Mexican town? Even outside like this, Oh, sit down.
Gracias.
I like you better out of the office. What's your name?
Maria de Silva.
Where's your home, Maria?
Here?
And lots of Americans around gives you a taste of what it's like in the good old USA, huh?
Sí. I want to go there very much, to the United States.
Maybe one of those American college boy engineers working for Ryan will turn the trick for you.
With the short haircuts and the things they say with the wink of the eye, I hate them. I hate all of them.
Still your best bet. Well, I had enough of this. See you in the States sometime, huh?
You go now?
Nothing around here.
I am around here.
Huh? Hey, you are trying, aren't you?
Maybe. Yes, what is... You laugh at me?
Nah, with you.
It's warm here. You walk by the water?
Sure, I'll walk.
It's funny.
What's funny?
The way you came in to Senor Ryan today and asked about the boat. You tell me about it later.
Ryan and his lousy boat.
I think about this all day. That is why I find you. I think you want to rent a boat bad. Very bad.
You talk like you got one.
In a little way, I do have one.
Well, you got a fishing jig. Your papa, your brother got a little squirt of a bark that I can stand up and take through the surf.
No. It is a power launch. Like those over there.
Power launch?
Belongs to someone I know. You buy it from one of the old company 2 years ago and make it over. Use it for big fishing. It's a good boat, very good. Maybe he ran it to you if I ask him.
Where is it?
There. Want to look?
Sure. Where's your friend?
He's away now.
Calls this a boat, huh?
It's good enough for fishing. That is why you wish a boat. Yes? You see a good engine.
Yeah, I'd have to hear him. You can't tell by looking.
He go out many times in this boat. 4, 5, 6 days at sea.
Well, Maria, I'll tell you what you do. You tell your friend I'm interested in renting it for 5 days. Tell him I'll give him $300.
You would laugh at this.
You can take it or leave it.
You would leave it.
And I guess it's no deal. Thanks for showing me.
This is the only boat around here that is not owned by the Salazar Oil Company. You do not take this one, you take nothing.
All right. Nothing.
How will you go fishing?
Huh?
Maybe I should say, how will you get to the island without a boat? 2 months they searched for the plane, and then it was decided to crash into the sea. But it did not go into the sea. It's still out there somewhere on one of those islands. And you need a boat to get there.
You're crazy.
I know there was a payroll on that plane. $80,000.
Huh. You got it all figured, haven't you? Suppose what you say is true and I took this boat. What then?
Huh.
Suppose I just let it lay. Suppose I didn't hear what you just said. Suppose it means nothing.
Then I go to the police and tell them what I think.
You think they'd listen?
If I told them how anxious you are about a boat.
The police here and the insurance company and the bonding company and the oil company have asked all the questions they want. They were on me for 3 months while I was in the hospital with my legs in the hoist. So maybe you haven't got such a good thing as that.
Oh.
So we know where we stand there. Now, what about your friend?
I would pay him for my hat.
All right. Sunday morning, 6 o'clock. Enough fuel and food to last for 5 days. If this thing's in shape, if your friend's okay, and if I feel like it, I might take a trip.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Come aboard. Come aboard. I am Rico. You are the Americano?
How's your English, Rico?
Good. See, very good.
Where's Brown Eyes?
Brown eye.
Maria.
Oh, Maria, she's in the galley. She fixed food. You hungry?
I could eat.
Maria, good cook. Fine, fine. Hey, we have not shaken hands yet, buddy. I shake, buddy. We in business.
Okay, buddy. See if you can shake this bag below.
Oh, see. Glad to, buddy.
Hi, Maria.
Hello.
You come down to see us off?
I'm going with you. Okay?
Okay by me. Matter of fact, it'll make it nicer. You do something to a boat, baby.
You meet Rico, yes?
Yeah, I met him. He's some clown. What's he always smiling about?
He's a very good sailor.
He acts like he's getting ready to go to a circus.
Don't have to worry about Rico.
Okay. I won't.
As long as you keep your hands off him. Stop it.
Hi, buddy.
Rico.
Well, we're all ready to go. The engine is fine.
Then what are we waiting for?
You?
Headed for Canizaba Point.
Canizaba? And then what?
And then I'll tell you.
Bueno.
All right, what are you standing there for? Let's get going.
Okay, buddy.
Frank,
Huh?
I am afraid.
What now?
Rico, he's dangerous. You know, like the way you act to me. And the way you make me embarrassed.
He'll live.
What will you?
He wants to get to that island, doesn't he?
See?
And I'm the only one who knows where it is.
That is true, but
What?
I am thinking of the time after we have been there.
If he's feeling that, huh? Come here.
What?
Let's settle it now. Rico,
See?
give me a match. Phosphoro, the brillo. Match.
Oh, I know how much.
I do. Here. Light me.
Light yourself.
Get up. Now light me.
Okay, buddy.
Any questions, Rico? Maria? And I guess everybody understands everybody.
You are listening to The Coward, tonight's presentation of Escape. French, German, Italian, Swedish. Nobody has trouble understanding the language when the language is music. Tomorrow, CBS Radio presents the classic works of the composers round the world on our World Music Festival. Hear it tomorrow on most of these stations. And now back to Escape and the second act of The Coward.
Rico, see?
Where are we?
Carnival, that is the point there.
Everything that's in the water looks different.
That is it.
Okay, let's look at that compass of yours. Uh-huh.
You know what you do?
I know. Okay, we set here. You steer this line.
See?
And keep on it.
Oh, how long? There's no island that way, only the open sea, no island.
You ever been that way?
No.
I have.
Okay, buddy.
Marie, you asleep?
I'm asleep. So what's your Enrico?
Huh?
He laughs at you, Frank. He laughs at you all the time, even though he light the match. He laughs like you know more than you know. Can do more than you can do.
Go to bed. You're shivering.
I wish nothing to happen to you.
I don't get it.
Get it?
You and Smiling Boy, when all this is over, what happens?
Rico and I go to the United States.
I thought it was something like that. So why worry about me? I'll tell you. Even with $40,000, you might not be able to make it. Immigration's tough, and the money wouldn't help much if they were looking for you. U.S. immigration can be awful tough on illegal entries. You got something like that in mind?
I'll speak to you later.
No. Right now.
Yeah.
This trip isn't going to last much longer.
Is that close to the island?
Be in sight tomorrow morning. Once we get that cash in our hands, Rico isn't going to play along if I got him pegged right.
Pegged?
You know what I'm talking about, baby. Probably told you how he's going to stick that knife in me so you and him can take the whole works, right? Yeah. You two have talked it over. Let me tell you this. Rico isn't going to be able to get you into the United States, but I can.
You?
If you are my wife.
Oh. Frank, what could happen to Rico?
What do you think?
By golly, buddy, you right. What island they call it?
They call him nothing. They're the string end of the Santa Gabriel, as near as I can figure it.
Which one? Which one we go to, buddy?
I'll head it in for that point of rock there.
Bueno. I better check the deck.
Frank,
Huh?
all night I think of what you say.
Yeah?
I am with you.
Okay.
What you do with that gun?
I need it.
Why?
Get rid of him right now. We don't need him anymore.
But the boat?
I can handle it.
Hey, buddy, come here quick.
What's the matter?
Come here. Come here quick. Oh, it's the reef. The water's not deep enough. We hit the reef, we lose the boat.
We have to go in this
But
way.
lose the boat. Dangerous.
I just changed my mind about something. You troll from right here, Rico. You take soundings as fast as you can. I'll take the wheel. It'll take both of us, but we'll find our way through the rocks.
No, it's no good.
I need a light, Rico.
What?
Give me a light, kiddo.
Okay, buddy.
Now get your line out and let's get those engines revved up.
Now 6. Now 5.5. 5. In your 4.
Okay.
You cannot clear.
We draw 3 feet. That gives us a foot extra. Hold on to your hat, buddy.
My wall.
Shut up.
Oh. By golly, after this, I hope you picked the right island, buddy.
The right one, all right.
I hate to think I'm doing all this for nothing. Look! Hey, there, the island, the plane.
Yeah. Just the way I touch it.
By golly, buddy, a long time I think maybe this is just a trick. You're not sure the plane did not burn, but you want to look. I want to look, too. Now I see. You okay, buddy? We all be rich, eh, Maria? That is what you want, Carnival? Well, by golly, we have it now.
Getting late. Let's hustle it up and get out of here. I don't want to spend the night on that island.
Why not?
Nothing to eat, nothing to drink. It's hot day and night. Rico, take her in as close as you can, and we'll wait.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah,
It's all right?
fine. Nothing to worry about now. Nothing at all.
What do you mean?
You and I can bring it back to the rocks alone.
We are here.
Okay, let's go. I'll give you a hand over the side, Maria.
Roger.
Here.
Why is it the plane's not find her?
They didn't look in the right place. She's half buried in a loose rock. How you doing?
Bueno.
Plane, the mess. Where in it is the money, buddy?
In the baggage compartment.
I go pull the door open. By golly, she's stuck hard.
I'll give you a hand.
You can get it now.
Yeah. Got it. It's locked. Give me your knife.
Huh? Oh, here.
$80,000.
See, this is treasure.
Yeah. Just about enough for a man to enjoy some things.
Huh?
Thanks for the knife, Rico.
Where's the buddy? Where's the buddy? You wanted my knife. Now you got it. Adios, buddy.
You killed him.
Here it is. All of it will happen to him, or two.
Yes, but you also. You bleed.
Scratch only, Carnival. But he, my buddy, he will die. I think it's nice. You should stay here and watch. You can die with him.
No, Rico, no.
It's what you wanted, to be with him. You have him now.
No.
Adios, querida mía.
Maria.
You hurt bad, Frank.
You telling me?
Don't let that move.
The boat?
Gone. You made me stay. You say we can die together.
That isn't going to help. Shut up.
Shut up.
You die, Frank.
No. Not if I can help it. Look in the plane. Must be a first aid kit in there somewhere. Bandages, tape. Hurry up, take a look.
No, Frank.
Try the cabin. The cabin.
I cannot go into the cabin. The bodies are in there. The bodies from the wreck.
Go on. You want to stay here and die? You want to try to get help?
I look. That Frank. This is it?
Yeah. Come on, get it open. You all right?
I'm all right.
Okay. Let's see what kind of surgeon you are.
Better now?
Yeah. Knife must have bounced off a river. I'd be dead by now.
What will happen to us?
We got to get some help. Make flares, signal, something.
Do you think anybody see?
Somebody has.
We need food. There's no food. Only sand and rocks.
The radio. The radio on the plane.
Oh, look. It's smashed to pieces. We die, Frank. We die here together.
Suppose you could build a fire? You awake, Marie?
Yeah.
I keep dozing off. Guess I lost a lot of blood.
Sleep is best now. You not think.
Maybe it's better to think. Look, I still have the gun.
What?
When the food problem gets tough, I mean, when it gets too bad, maybe...
Oh.
No way to go. Starving, I mean.
All my life I tell myself, someday I go to the United States to live there. Wear pretty clothes like in the magazines. Drive a nice car. Live in a clean place. And I die on a dirty little island.
We both die if that's any comfort. My fault.
Your fault.
You got you into this. I didn't mean for it to end this way. Maria, I'd like to tell you something.
Hmm?
When that plane ran out of gas, I tried to tell those 4 workers how to get into the chutes. I really tried. They didn't speak English, and I didn't speak their language, and it just wasn't time. I could have stayed with the plane and died then. Maybe it would have been better, but I bailed out, and I saw it crash here. In the hospital, I got the idea about the money.
Why you say this to me?
I hate to drag you with me. You don't deserve it. Just a kid who wanted to go to the States. I'd have been proud to take you there.
You love me?
Yeah.
I believe you. It is a good feeling. He truly died, but it is a good feeling. The boat!
What?
The boat, it is back. Rico's back. Can you walk?
I can try.
Yes. He did not leave us here to die. He came back.
I can't believe it. Wait.
What?
She's stuck in the sand. She's unmanned.
He did not come back for us?
No, that boat just drifted in. Come on. Oh.
What?
On the railing. He couldn't get out. He couldn't get through the reef alone in the knife fight. He bled. He's dead, Maria.
And now we will live.
Five.
4.
4.
You make it?
We made it this far, baby. We're clear now. Open sea ahead.
Open sea.
We're safe.
What happens when we get back?
Need the money?
See?
Goes to Ryan for the whole story.
Everything.
It has to be everything.
But I might put you in prison.
If they did,
I'll wait. I will wait for you.
We haven't got anything to worry about, Maria. Take the wheel.
Escape, produced and directed by David Friedkin and Morton Fine, has brought you The Coward, a story by E. Jack Newman. Featured in the cast were Barney Phillips, Virginia Gregg, Lou Merrill, and Herb Butterfield. Your announcer, Bill Anders. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are running over the fog-locked cliffs of Dover. By your side, a girl who believes you are a madman. And pursuing you, bent on destroying you, a man whose terrible secret you've stumbled upon, and from whom there is no escape.
So listen next week when Escape brings you Walter Brown Newman's story, 2 and 2 Make 4. Some people like to spend their Sunday afternoons fishing. Some like to relax at home. But whatever the pastime, CBS Radio adds to a restful day with Eddie Gallagher on a Sunday afternoon. Music by Antonini and by Russ Case. Vocal melody by Stu Foster and Louise Carlisle. And pleasant chatter by Eddie Gallagher. All right here for you tomorrow on most of these stations. Stay tuned now for Night Watch, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. America listens most to the CBS Radio Network.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are running over the fog-locked cliffs of Dover. By your side, a girl who believes you are a madman. And pursuing you, bent on destroying you, a man whose terrible secret you've stumbled upon, and from whom there is no escape.
Listen now as Escape brings you Walter Brown Newman's story, 2 and 2 Make 4.
My head hurt. I sat up and opened my eyes. Fog all around, thick and close and still. I could see trees and a few yards of dirt road. My watch was gone and my wallet. Rolled, slugged and rolled and dumped. But where? I scrambled to my feet and I stood there in the ditch, suddenly worried about the time. It would be bad to be late going aboard. As for the ship sailing without me, I stepped onto the road. Which way led back to Calais? Someone was coming. Hello? Qui est là? Why don't you answer? I can't see. Oh! Down the road, then across the field, alongside a brook. I ran till I thought my lungs would burst. I stopped to listen, but the blood was pounding so I couldn't be sure I wasn't followed. I ran some more. The brook went under a small bridge. On it, leaning against the stone wall, looking down at me, was a girl with a knapsack on her back. I climbed up the bank. Mademoiselle, s'il vous plaît, mademoiselle.
I'm sorry, I don't speak French.
Did you hear those shots?
Shots?
A few minutes ago, right past my ear, almost blew my head off.
Well, you should tell the police or something. I have to be going. I have a long way to go.
No, wait a minute.
Sorry, I really...
No, wait. What time is it, please?
Well, not quite 6:45. The way it looks now, we'll have fog at least until noon.
Noon? You mean it's 6:45 in the morning?
Yes, of course in the morning. Well, I've got to...
Hold on. Which way is Calais?
Calais? Well, that way, about 20 miles.
20? I've got to make my ship. You mind if I walk along with you?
Well...
My name's David Parker.
Mine's Haydock, Emily Haydock.
I'm in the Merchant Marine, second mate on a freighter. You want a walking trip or something?
That's right.
I figured. It was the knapsack. American?
Yes.
Me too. I thought you were French at first.
Why was that?
Took it for granted. Most people in France are.
Well, I don't understand. We're in England, not France. Why should you think that you...
What do you mean, England? Didn't you just tell me we were 20 miles from Calais?
Yes, but Calais is somewhere out there across the English Channel in France.
And where do you say we are, you and me now?
In England, of course, about 2 miles from Dover.
No, look. I've been robbed and dumped out here in the countryside and shot at, so please don't make jokes.
I'm not.
What's today, quick?
Thursday, 10th of July. Why?
Then we're in France.
Look, I tell you...
When I registered at the hotel in Calais last night, I noticed the date. It was the 9th of July.
Now, look. You asked me where we are, and I told you. England, near Dover.
I suppose I didn't see the sunrise in Calais just an hour ago.
Sunrise?
Sunrise.
What sunrise? I've been up since 5. There's been no sun for a week. It's one of the worst fogs they've ever had.
Oh, drop it. I tell you, I saw it.
You're either joking or lying
No,
or
wait
crazy.
a minute. No more of that lying, that crazy, do you hear? No more of that crazy.
Well, what else am I to think when you say you were shot at? You saw the sun? Sun today. And you insist you're in France when you're in England.
All right, Miss Haydock. Turn around. Now, what do you see alongside the road?
Gate. Stone wall.
Yeah, and in front of the gate.
A mailbox. Why?
And what does it say on the mailbox? Villa Mon Bijou. I don't know what Bijou means, but it's French. Now, what do you say now?
We're in England.
You don't know where to stop, do you? All right. I'm going into this villa, whatever it is, and phone for a taxi to take me to my ship. I was going to offer you a lift, but now I'd sooner cut my tongue out. How do you like that?
Oh, go to the devil. You're in England!
Bonjour. Parlez anglais? D'anglais compris? Say, is there anyone here who speaks English?
I speak English.
Oh, good. May I use your phone to call a taxi?
Of course. Won't you come in?
Thanks. I have no money on me, Mr.
Putney, Dr. Putney.
I haven't a penny with me, Doctor, but I'll be able to get some from the clerk at the hotel, and I'll send you whatever the call costs with the taxi driver.
Oh, not at all. There's the phone.
Thanks. Hello? Oh, come on.
Service is always a bit slow at this hour.
I'm sorry. The fact is, I got angry with a silly girl out on the road.
Did you?
Yeah, you tried to kid me. Well, The joke will be on her when she's trudging along the road and sees me riding in my ease to Calais. Oh, come on.
Riding to Calais?
In a taxi. I wouldn't have minded if she'd let the joke drop, but no, she went on and on about this being England and that I was crazy to think otherwise.
Well, I'm afraid I don't understand the joke. I mean, this is England.
Look, I don't find it funny, Doctor. I thought I made that clear. The next one who tells me I'm in England when I know I'm in France, I swear I'll take...
You know you're in France?
Yes. Yes.
Sit down, young man.
Isn't this France?
England. Near Dover. How can I show you? Here's a copy of the London Times, yesterday's.
Wednesday, July 9th. But the name on the mailbox, Villa Watsis, that's French.
Most of the villas have names like that. Montbijou, Sanssouci. Still, it's England. Sit down. I'm a physician, and I'd like to ask you...
No.
Young man!
Two and two make four. I repeated it like a charm, like they told me in the hospital. When you feel unsure of yourself, remember, 2 and 2 make 4. There's an explanation for everything. Don't doubt yourself. After a while, I stopped trembling. I opened the gate and went out onto the road. And there was the girl.
Oh, everything all right?
Did you come back to say I told you so?
No, I thought you might need help. I thought that...
Watch out, there's a truck coming.
There's an inn just around the curve.
Get down, he might shoot again. Get down.
Mr. Parker, please, that was a backfire, that's all it was.
Backfire?
Of course, what else could it be? There's an inn just around the curve and I have money. Wouldn't you like to have breakfast there and talk?
Oh, I'm all confused.
Anyone would be after a blow on the head.
No, it's not just being slugged. I wish it were only that. But with a case like me,
You're not a case.
Oh, that's just it. I am. About 6 weeks ago, unloading cargo, a crate hit me on the head, scrambled my memory. They sent me to the hospital, and the ship sailed without me. She's due back in Calais this afternoon. I was to report aboard if the treatment proved successful. They told me it was successful and discharged me yesterday, or maybe it wasn't yesterday, and none of it happened, and I'm imagining it all.
Try not to worry. It'll all come back to you.
Yeah, but suppose what comes back never really happened. That's the point, you see. That's the point. I remember a lot about yesterday, but what if I only think I remember, and it's all in my...
Now relax. We'll have breakfast in here. If you remember, you remember.
Yeah, but do I? I recall leaving the hospital and going to a hotel. Then I went to an all-night restaurant, and I remember leaving a bar at daybreak. Oh, sit down, Miss Haydock, please. I remember all that clearly. But an hour later, I'm in England, and that's impossible.
Well, you might have wandered aboard a channel steamer.
Oh, use your head. It's a 2 or 3 hour trip by boat.
Well, an airplane, then.
Oh, excuse me, I thought perhaps you'd like your coffee now while waiting for breakfast.
Miss, is there an airfield nearby?
Oh, yes, sir, but it's not an object of interest for tourists today. Our churches is very nice, though.
How far away is it, the airfield?
Oh, you won't see no planes coming or going, sir. The BBC broadcast said no air traffic in or out of Dover for the 6th straight day. Oh, good morning, Mr. Smith-Travers.
Breakfast, Rosie?
Yes, sir. Anything else for the present, sir?
No.
No air traffic, 6 days in a row. You'd think that would teach them, but will it?
I beg your pardon?
I leave it to you. Is there any reason for maintaining this undependable method of transportation? A method absolutely at the mercy of the elements, when there's a cheaper, better, less bothersome, simpler, and always certain way of crossing the channel.
You mean the boats?
No, of course not. The tunnel, the channel, tunnel.
Tunnel?
Yes, of course. Rosie, I want coffee now.
Right, Mr. Smith-Travers.
The Channel Tunnel. 20 miles through solid, impermeable chalk. In at Dover, out at Calais. Less than an hour's drive. No fuss.
I never heard of it. Is it something recent?
Recent? Oh, you're strangers here. Tourists, eh?
Yeah.
Well, You've heard of Napoleon Bonaparte?
Oh,
He had it dug by the 6th Corps of the Engineers of the Imperial Army. Took them 3 years. All done in secret, of course, for a surprise attack on England.
you mean to say there's actually a tunnel beneath the English Channel in use?
Certainly it's in use. I've been through it scores of times. Business, you know. Import-export. Just drove back from Calais a few hours ago. Morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Smith Travers.
Just advising them to go by way of the tunnel if they want to get to Calais.
Yes, of course. Much the best way.
Did it in 23 minutes this morning. New carburetor, you know. Well, good morning to you, sir. Yes.
I must have seemed like a lunatic, Doctor, not knowing I was in England. You see, I was in Calais, and an hour later I was in England, and I didn't understand how that was possible. I didn't know about the tunnel beneath the channel.
Try not to excite yourself, my boy. Everything will soon be all right.
What?
I've brought someone with me. Constable.
This poor fellow?
Poor fellow. You mean... Oh, you do think But I told you... I didn't know about the tunnel. I must have gone through the tunnel.
He didn't know until Mr. Smith Travers told him.
Yes, I heard. But Mr. Smith Travers is also of the firm conviction that we British are descended from the 10 lost tribes of Israel, that Shakespeare never existed, and that after a bit more research we'll be able to transmute base metals into gold. We know him and like him, and humor his eccentricities. Come along, Mr. Parker. I think it in the public interest that you not be on the public streets.
Yeah, come along.
No. Listen. I was in Calais at sunrise. I can prove it. I just remembered the name of the hotel. The Hotel de la Mar. Phoned them, and they'll tell you that there's a David Parker registered there. They have my passport at the desk. Let me go.
You're hurting him, you big bully.
I was in Calais. I was. 2 and 2 make 4. 2 and 2 make 4. 2 and 2 make 4.
You are listening to 2 and 2 Make 4, tonight's presentation of Escape. Keep listening for the climax in tonight's exciting story on Escape. And listen tomorrow for CBS Radio's exciting World Music Festivals concert. 3 excerpts from Alban Berg's tragic opera, Wojciech, will highlight the program. That's tomorrow, daytime, on most of these stations. And now back to Escape and the second act of 2 and 2 Make 4.
They took us to a room in the town hall. Dr. Putney, it turned out, was not only a physician, he was the local magistrate as well. For more than 3 hours, he questioned Miss Haydock and me in turn. He made us repeat our stories endlessly, where she met me, how I behaved, what I said, what she said, and all the rest of it. It was almost noon before he was finished. And watching the clock on the wall, my ship coming nearer to Calais with every tick, I was almost beside myself with anxiety.
You need care, my boy. Rest and help. Now, we've a fine institution in Folkestone near here which can give you that care. A few weeks, possibly days.
Institution?
Look, I've got to get to Calais.
Miss Haydock, will you try to convince him it's for the best?
There's nothing wrong with me.
I'll try once more to show you reality, Mr. Parker. You say you were in France at sunrise.
I do. I was.
And you insist you were in England an hour later.
Look, please, call the Hotel de la Mer in Calais. I checked in there. There's bound to be a record of it. That will prove I'm telling the truth.
And if the call is made and it doesn't prove you're telling the truth, will you take my advice about the institution?
Yes.
Constable, put through a call to the Hotel de la Mer in Calais.
Yeah, very good, sir.
If the hotel bears out Mr. Parker's story, you'll let him go?
Miss Haydock, if it turns out that Mr. Parker is right, but how could he be?
2 and 2 make 4. 2 and 2 make 4.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, I have the hotel, sir.
Use the constable's phone, Mr. Parker. I'll listen in on my extension.
Hello, desk clerk.
Hello.
Hello. Is there a Mr. Parker registered there? David Parker?
Parker? David Parker. Oh, oui, there was, but he has checked out since 2 hours ago.
But, I mean, he couldn't have. You're mistaken.
Oh, no, sir, I am not. Not if you mean that Monsieur Parker is an American seaman. I returned his passport personally when I paid his bill. I have the...
I'm not even who I thought I was. All right, Dr. Putney, I'll go with you.
No, wait. Before you do, let me speak to you in private. Please.
May we, Doctor? Would it be all right?
I'll give you 2 minutes. Constable, we can arrange for an ambulance to Folkestone.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Parker.
No, that's not my name.
2 and 2 make 4.
Yeah.
2 and 2 make 4.
Uh-huh.
You must have faith in yourself. If you're convinced you were in France one moment and in England an hour later, then that's the way it was.
But it's a physical impossibility.
No, it's not. You could have come through the tunnel.
There is no tunnel.
If a tunnel is the only explanation for what happened to you, then there is a tunnel. 2 and 2 make 4.
Yeah. You really believe my story?
I believe you.
All right, then. All right. What do I do now?
You tell me. Come on, you know the answer.
I find the man in the restaurant, the man who said there was a tunnel, Smith Travers.
Right. Open the window.
All right. I'll go first and I'll help you down. Come on.
Here's my knapsack.
Got it. Now you.
Time's up, I'm afraid. Miss Haydock, come back here. Miss Haydock! Mr. X, whatever your name is. Constable, stop them!
I'll do my best, sir.
The fog hit us before we'd run 20 feet. We dodged around corners, then stopped at a garage and looked up Mr. Smith Travers' address in a directory. It proved to be a little villa like a dozen others I'd seen that day. There was no answer when we knocked at the door, so we waited. And before very long, Mr. Smith Travers drove up in a light truck.
Look. The valise I left at the hotel in Calais. He's got it.
Good afternoon. I'll take that.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, my passport, too, please.
Yes. I see you've concluded the tunnel does exist.
That's right.
Last, you're the first to ever have. It's a bit of bad luck, for me, that is. If I hadn't hit a flat tire halfway through, the passport and police would be in ashes by now. You, phoned the hotel in Calais?
Yes.
Yes, I thought you might. I heard you shouting at the inn about the hotel, so I drove over and... Didn't it make you doubt your senses when they told you checked out?
Oh, you have no idea.
Yes, I was counting on that.
Yeah, it rocked me, but only for a minute.
How the devil did you get in my machine in the first place?
Well, the way I figure, I was knocked on the head by some thug and robbed this morning in Calais. Whoever did it may have thrown me in your truck to get me out of sight.
I was never so surprised in my life. I mean to say, I skidded near Dover, sideswiped a tree, and heard the back door bang open. When I stopped and went back, there you were, lying with a bolt of my silk in your arms. Took my breath away. When you started to groan and sit up, I was beside myself.
What's the matter?
It just occurred to me, you're not English. A bad thing to have someone not in the government and a foreigner to boot to know about the tunnel. Security, you know.
Do you mean the British government knows of the tunnel?
No, it doesn't. No, I've sent letters to every prime minister since MacDonald, telling them about it. Charts, diagrams, descriptions. Useless. They think I'm a crank. I can't blame them. What would Mr. Eisenhower say if you told him there's a tunnel between London and New York? You see what I mean? They got acknowledgement just once. A CID man came around and blabbed the whole story to everyone. Told them to keep an eye on me as a dangerous lunatic. The only way to protect the secret after that was to ride it like a mania, so I told everyone too. Best security measure ever devised. Now, however, there are 3 of us who really know about the tunnel. It's awkward. I don't know what to do.
Oh, I can tell you exactly. You're going to take me back to Calais and now, otherwise I'll beat you to a pulp. I ought to anyway, making me doubt myself as you did.
Taking you into the tunnel. Yes, that might be the best way.
We'd never tell anyone, I swear it.
Yes. I don't want you to see the entrance and exit, though. You'll have to wear blindfolds.
Agreed.
Now, let's get going, then. Yes, taking you into the tunnel is the best way.
Say, how much longer before we're in the tunnel?
You can take off the blindfolds now. We're in it.
How wonderful.
Yeah, the tunnel? Yes, they did a fine job, the Sixth Corps. That's what they got for it. Boney flung them in the Russian campaign when they'd finished and saw to it they all died. That's a way of keeping a secret, eh?
How did you learn of it?
Reading in the British Museum. I was broke and unemployed. I found an old diary by one of the engineers. Investigated and found it was true. I wrote to the government, told them about that. Well, it was too good to let it waste, so I set up a small import-export business. Cheaper transportation gives me an edge on my competitors.
Are we in Calais?
Well, no, but it's as far as you go. I've got to kill you. I can't let you live. It's too dangerous now that you know. The shotgun failed me twice today. Perhaps the revolver. Get out of the truck, please. Unless you want your blood all over the young lady, please.
Oh, all right.
Now, perhaps... Well, I won't think you cowardly if you turn your back.
Listen.
Oh, come now. No temporizing. Just take it. Oh, dash it all.
Emily?
Holmes, I think I'm going to faint.
Help me get him back into the truck, huh?
Just let me sit here for a moment.
Yeah.
David?
Huh?
We'll tell the authorities the truth. About the tunnel and all.
Uh-huh.
Everyone ought to know.
Yeah.
It's too good a thing. It makes travel and trade and communication so simple. We've no right to keep it a secret.
Check. We'll tell the authorities. We came to the end of the tunnel at exactly 2 o'clock by Miss Haydock's watch. Time and to spare in order to board my ship. We left Mr. Smith Travers in the truck and made our way into what was apparently a small warehouse. And from there, through a door, we found ourselves on the corner of a street, much like any other street in Calais. A fog had rolled in since sunrise as thick as the one we'd left in England. Oh, one moment. I want to make a note of this street or we'll never find the tunnel again. Hey, you got a pencil?
Mm-mm.
Oh, never mind. I have one.
There's no street sign.
Oh, up there on the side of the building. They don't put them on lampposts like we do in the States. All right, I've got it. Say, when do you get back to the States?
September 1st. School term starts on the 10th. I teach kindergarten in Baltimore.
Oh, we're supposed to put in at Baltimore Christmas week.
Well, that's marvelous. We could have Christmas Eve together.
Yeah, New Year's too, maybe. Oh, I'll look forward to that.
You'll write. Meanwhile, won't you?
Oh, of course. You know, I'll never be able to thank you enough for what you did. What made you believe in me so strongly?
Oh, I don't know. You see, What's the matter?
I'm not sure. We're walking toward the harbor. That's the trouble with a foreign city. You turn a corner and you're lost. And this dirty fog is so... No, let's try this way.
Would that be a policeman in the doorway?
Where? Oh, yes, it is. Parlez anglais.
A little.
Which way is the harbor?
Turn at the next corner, to the left, and walk 4 streets.
Well, thank you. Oh, how do you pronounce the name of the street I've written here?
Street?
Yeah.
There's no street.
A street? What does it say?
In English, this way to the air raid shelter. We have put them on almost every building in Calais.
Air raid shelter? Then we'll never be able to find our way back to the tunnel.
Eh?
Gendarme, are you sure?
But of course. As sure as I am that 2 and 2 make 4.
Escape, produced and directed by David Friedkin and Morton Fine, has brought you 2 and 2 Make 4, a story by Walter Newman. Featured in the cast were Shep Menken, Joyce McCluskey, Tudor Owen, and Richard Peel. Also heard were Betty Hartford, Dick Ryan, Melitza Milo, and James Barrett. Your announcer, Bill Anders. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You're on a ketch sailing the coral seas, snaking your way through the tricky channel toward an island of black pearls. While on the shore, waiting for you to land, is the man who has sworn your death, and from whom there is no escape.
So listen next week when Escape brings you Robert Tallman's story, The King of Owantu. Stay tuned now for Night Watch, which follows immediately over most of these stations. America listens most to the CBS Radio Network.
Of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
On a ketch sailing the coral seas, snaking your way through the tricky channel toward an island of black pearls. While on the shore, waiting for you to land, is the man who has sworn your death, and from whom there is no escape.
Listen now as Escape brings you Robert Tallman's story, The King of Owantu.
The island we were looking for was roughly 15 degrees north by 145 west. We sailed around it 3 times before we spotted the break in the reef. Packer rowed us in on a tricky swell and snaked through the channel before the surf could hit backwards.
There we are, all installed and ready for business. What's eating you, Remington?
I don't know. I get a funny feeling about this place.
Like what?
Coming through that reef, you notice anything special?
It was a cinch, like easing a barge through a canal lock, only a little faster, a little rougher.
Too easy.
I don't follow you, Skipper.
I mean, it's not a natural channel. Been scooped out of the rock.
What makes you think so?
You could see where the coral was chipped smooth on the sides.
This I want to see for myself. Skipper!
Yeah?
Skipper, come here!
All right. What's up, Packer?
A break in the reef. The channel we just came through. It's not there anymore. It's disappeared. Look.
Yeah.
Couldn't be, Skipper. It just couldn't.
Couldn't, but it is. Solid wall. Break in the reef is closed.
How?
You said it was like easing a barge through a canal lock, didn't you?
You mean somebody, they got some kind of an underwater floodgate or something?
Or something. Maybe...
Hey, someone on the beach.
Ahoy! The boat! Looks like we'll get some answers pretty soon.
Ahoy!
the beach? What island is this? Stay aboard. I'm coming out.
He's a white man, all right.
Yeah, looks like he lives here, too.
Those natives look like Marquesans.
They don't belong to these islands. Neither does that outrigger.
I'm going below and break out the rifle.
Don't be stupid, Hacker. They're obviously not armed.
What do you say we should do?
Wait. Wait till we find out what it's all about. Let him do the talking. Whatever you do, don't mention the pearls. Our story is we're lost. We put in for water and supplies.
What if he asks to see the ship's papers?
We show them.
If he asks what happened to the owner?
He decided to take a plane back from Tahiti. We're returning the boat to San Francisco for him.
Sounds good enough.
Just take it easy, Hacker. And use your head. As the outrigger approached our boat, I tried to size up our host. He was a big man, solidly built, but with a sharp, aquiline face that didn't go with the build. He wore a beard, closely trimmed, and a white linen jacket over a dark shirt, open at the neck. When the canoe came alongside, he was on his feet and up our ladder in just 3 seconds flat.
Are you the captain of this vessel?
I'm the skipper. Remington is my name. This is my mate, Mr. Hackett.
And your crew?
We're it.
Excuse me, my name is Jerome. I am resident of this island. Welcome to Owantu, gentlemen.
Thank you. You say that you're the resident?
Not in the usual governmental sense, Mr. Remington. But as I am the only person living here, I and my household, that is, I believe I can lay fair claim to the title.
Have you lived here long, Mr. Jerome?
Oh, no. Let us observe protocol, Mr. Remington. As resident, I ask the first questions. Oh, this craft must have set you back a pretty penny, eh, Mr. Remington?
It did the owner. I'm only sailing a home for him.
And home is?
San Francisco.
Magnificent city, I know it well. May I ask your employer's name?
Cates. Gerald Cates.
Cates, yes, I've heard the name. And, what was the name of this vessel before you changed it, Mr. Remington?
The Argo. Cates decided it was a bad luck name, so he changed it to the Owantu.
And bad luck for you to get off course and wind up in this particular group of islands.
Oh, I don't know. What group is this, Mr. Jerome?
Tuamotu. The old seafarers used to call it the dangerous archipelago. But you're here, and a happy circumstance it is. I'm seldom blessed with visitors, as you may well imagine. I trust you gentlemen will do me the honor of dining with me this evening.
Oh, thanks. We'll be glad to.
And if there's anything I could do to make your stay here more comfortable...
You might explain about that reef, Mr. Jerome.
The reef? Oh, the floodgate in the channel. This island was a pirate base back in the days of the Spanish Main.
You trying to tell us that's been here a couple of 100 years and still in working order?
Oh, heavens, no. I've had it restored, of course. And a very expensive undertaking it was, but I find it an amusing toy. Now I must leave you and make preparations for our feast tonight. Dinner is at 7 sharp. Until 7, then. Au revoir, gentlemen. Brandy, gentlemen?
No, thanks.
I trust my humble board was worth coming ashore for.
What's the point, Mr. Jerome? Fattening us up for the kill?
Oh, dear, no, Mr. Hacker. I dare say some of my natives have tasted long pig in their time, but I have expressly forbidden it here.
How did you come to this island, Mr. Jerome?
I was looking for a refuge, Mr. Remington. A place where I could escape forever the insanities of this so-called civilized world.
Oh, I notice that you haven't deprived yourself of any of the civilized comforts, Mr. Jerome.
True. Mr. Hacker, you seem uncommonly silent. Oh, perhaps another dram of brandy will loosen your tongue.
I think I'll go for a walk, if you don't mind. Coming along, Skipper?
I'll finish my brandy.
Suit yourself. See you aboard.
You sure you don't feel the urge to go a-roaming, Mr. Remington?
Later, maybe.
Yes, you'll have plenty of time to explore the island. Plenty. Are you ready for coffee now?
Oh, why not?
Oh, you like our coffee? and an extra special surprise comes with it. Something I've been saving to the very last.
Oh, really, Mr. Jerome?
Not the dessert, Mr. Remington. A different sort of tidbit. Timo.
Yes, Mr. Jerome.
Tell Missy Michaela to fetch our coffee.
Yes, Mr. Jerome. Missy Michaela, Mr. Jerome said you'll bring coffee now.
All right, Timo. You needn't shout the house down.
Ah, dear girl. Prompt and obedient as always. Oh, set the tray here. I'll pour, my dear. Ah, pray be seated, my dear, and join us.
Yes, Father.
Now, what do you think of him, Michaela? Yes. And you, sir? Of course, or you wouldn't stare so. Michaela was not born on the island. Her mother died in childbirth, and I brought her here a babe in arms. She has no memory of the outside world. For a while, I toyed with the idea of sending her back to Europe to be educated, but I couldn't bear to be parted from her.
Nor I from him, Mr. Remington.
And then there is always the danger of war. She is safe here. Safe.
My father is always so concerned with my safety, Mr. Remington. Sometimes I wish there were a volcano on the island. I would climb right up to the crater and spit in it, just to give him something to really worry about. How did you find us, Mr. Remington?
Maybe I'm psychic, Mr. Jerome. Maybe I just smell that perfume you're wearing.
Oh, is it too much?
No. It's like you. It's fresh, at the same time mysterious.
That sounds like my cue to totter off to bed. No, please don't get up. Take good care of our guest, Michaela, but don't keep him up too late. He's had a very strenuous voyage.
I promise to stay till she pitches me out, sir.
That's the spirit I like in a man. Good night, Remington. Good night, my dear.
Good night, Father. Now, Mr. Remington, tell me why I'm so mysterious. We shall start with names. You may call me Michaela. What shall I call you?
My first name is Charles.
That's no good. The natives will call you Missy Tarley.
At least that's better than Chuck.
Is that what they call you at home?
Home? I never had one.
You have one now.
I have?
Yes. Right here.
I'd love to believe that.
Well, you may be quite certain of it, Charles.
Why, Michaela?
Because Father will never let you leave the island. He never lets anyone leave.
You are listening to The King of Owantu, tonight's presentation of Escape. Tomorrow night, the coast is clear for comedy with My Little Margie on CBS Radio. She's all set to put on a benefit show for a boys' club, but has to resort to humorous deception to win the cooperation of her father. All's well that ends well, and My Little Margie does very well tomorrow night on most of these stations. And now, back to Escape and the second act of The King of Owantu.
I'd come to the island looking for pearls. I'd found something else, and where I stood, it looked a lot better than pearls. When I said goodnight to Michaela, the sun was up. Hacker still hadn't come aboard. I guessed that he was sleeping off the effects of the moonlight and the native coconut wine. I stretched out on the deck, and the next thing I knew, the sun was straight overhead, and Hacker was prodding me with his foot.
Wake up, Skipper. I got news for you.
News? Oh, who needs it?
Maybe these will make you sit up and take notice.
Hey, what?
You're not dreaming, Skipper. Those are pearls. Black ones. The kids in the compound play marbles with them.
Pearls. Black pearls.
I thought that'd snap your attention.
Just thinking what a string of these would look like around the neck of a certain girl.
Where did you go last night?
Stayed right there on the veranda. Jerome served her with the coffee.
How come?
His daughter.
Boy, he's even more worried about us than I thought.
What's that supposed to mean?
Skipper, I had a talk with Jerome's head man last night, Kanaka Chief.
All right, so?
Well, in the first place, Jerome was practically fanatical about that daughter of his. As I watched, night and day.
Exception. He left her alone with me last night.
Don't be too sure of that.
Why should he have her watched?
Some of the natives are homesick for their own island. They're being kept here against their will.
All right, what's that got to do with Michaela?
Jerome's afraid they might grab her and hold her as a hostage for their freedom.
They know their way around these waters.
Yeah, they're good swimmers, too. But I doubt if they could make it to the Marquesas.
They could make it in a native boat.
He wouldn't let them build one. They tried to do it secretly, but they were always found out.
And what's his power over them?
Guns. Jerome has got an arsenal.
Why don't they break in and take over?
They tried that, too. Once.
What happened?
The lucky ones were shot dead on the spot.
The lucky ones?
Yeah. The others were tortured, hung up over a fire, and slowly toasted from the toes up.
Why? Why? Why would any man go to such extremes to hold on to a few native workers that could easily be replaced?
You're the one with a college education. You tell me.
He said something last night. His daughter, I mean. She said he never lets anybody leave the island.
She should know.
Thought she was kidding.
Some kidder, that dog.
She's okay, Hacker.
You got it bad.
Yeah.
I wonder how she'll feel after we've knocked off her daddy.
What are you talking about?
About getting off this island. One thing I'm sure of, we'll never make it as long as Jerome is alive.
Well, there's one sure way to find out.
How's that?
Ask him, Hacker, my boy. Ask him.
Mr. Remington, you're just in time for tiffin. Will you join me in a drink first?
Look, let's skip the tiffin talk, Mr. Jerome. It's time we got down to a few essentials.
Indeed. Essentials such as you did not leave Mr. Cates in Tahiti. You were never in Tahiti. Neither a schooner named Diago nor a ketch named Luana ever anchored there. Your last port of call was in the Marquesas. You were quarantined there because the owner of your vessel had fallen ill. You abandoned your crew on the beach and sailed off in the dead of night. Nothing further was seen or heard of you till you arrived here yesterday afternoon. So you see, I'm not wholly without contact with the outside world.
Yeah, obviously.
I only want to know one thing. Did Mr. Cates die of natural causes, or did you and your friend help him along?
He was dead when we left Nukahiva.
So, you buried him on a beach somewhere and made off with the schooner.
Well, why not? He had no use for it.
Don't dissemble with me, sir. I know that your shipmate has been snooping about the island, making inquiries about the pearl beds. Somehow you heard about the pearls on this island, and you came here hoping to help yourself to a fortune. Now, isn't that true?
We took a chance. We can do it again.
Well, you can, but you won't.
Why not?
Because the moment you sail out of my lagoon, I shall radio every police, constabulary, and Coast Guard station from Australia to San Francisco, and you'll be hanged as murderers and mutineers.
All right, why? Why are you doing this to us?
Quite simply, I don't want you to leave the island.
Oh, why not? Why are you so determined to keep us here?
Many reasons, Mr. Remington. My daughter likes you. You're a man of courage and imagination, a man fit to carry on my line. I have no worries about you. Basically, you feel as I do.
Well, maybe so.
But what about Hacker? He's a stupid, greedy man.
All right. Let him clean out the pearls and go.
I was tempted to that for a moment, but no. The pearls are too valuable, too unusual. Questions would be asked. Sooner or later, Hacker's tongue would be loosened, whether by whiskey or by force. I should be overrun with unwelcome visitors, bringing disease and dissension, the twin banners of civilization.
Jerome, what will happen to him if he tries to leave?
If he tries it, Mr. Remington, he will find out. But I wouldn't advise it, which also goes for you. And now, tiffin, Mr. Remington?
Who's there?
Me, Skipper. Throw over the ladder.
Look, where you been all day?
Exploring.
Did you find anything?
Come in the cabin. I drew a rough sketch map of Jerome's setup.
All right, come on, let me see.
Turn up the lamp there, will you? Hey, here. Here's the lagoon where we're anchored. Out on the point here is the radio shed. Here's where the guns are kept.
What about the floodgate?
It's operated electrically. The switch is in Jerome's room right by his bed.
Well, what happens when you work at any noise?
No, but lights go on all over the place.
Michaela might do it first.
She in this with us?
No, not yet.
What makes you think you can trust her?
I've got to.
What if she plays it on Daddy's team?
I told you. I'm not leaving here without her, no matter what.
That makes me patsy, doesn't it?
Look, the boat's all yours if you want to go it alone.
Oh, thanks.
All right. I'll help you just the same.
You don't act like you're too anxious to get away.
What makes you say that?
Panic me out of here and stick around to pick up the pearls for yourself. That's your idea, Skipper?
Oh, come on. How do I get out with the pearls if you take the boat?
Don't give me that. You know Jerome's got a boat anchored on the other side of the island.
This is the first I heard of it.
How do you think they get their supplies here? By a helicopter?
Jerome told me he sent it to Tahiti to pick up some breadfruit trees.
Uh-huh.
Look, where's the anchorage on that shore?
There's a blind inlet there. Never spot it unless you know just where to look.
Well, why not take his boat? Save fiddling with the floodgate.
It's an old steam yacht. Smoke could give us away if we fired the boilers by daylight. By night, that inlet is too tricky to navigate.
All right. You just answered your own question.
With Jerome dead, there'd be no problem.
Look, there's to be no killing, Hacker. You mention it again, it's all off between us.
Okay, Skipper, we'll try it your way. If it doesn't work...
Hold it.
Somebody aboard.
Who's there?
Oh, it's I, Charles.
Kelly, you shouldn't have come here.
Don't you want to see me?
Of course I do. It's just
Well,
that...
Father doesn't know I'm here. He's been locked in his study for hours, talking with the head man.
What about? Did you hear what they were saying?
Well, I couldn't hear much, but Father was very angry with him.
Look, do you know what about Michaela? It's very important that we know.
He said that someone has seen him, the head man, that is, diving for pearls in the inlet.
You know anything about that, Hacker?
What if I did?
You agreed we had to make a choice between a clean getaway and the pearls. If Jerome has the slightest suspicion...
Okay, Skipper, it still goes.
You're sure of that?
You're the skipper, Skipper.
Okay. Break out a rifle. Get into that dinghy and row ashore. Grab that head man when he leaves Jerome and bring him aboard.
What for?
I want to know how much he's told Jerome.
Okay. But I won't need a rifle.
You've got a lot of trust in that Kanaka.
We got a lot in common. He wants to get away from this island, too.
Okay. Get moving.
See you, Skipper.
Charles, what's it all about? What does it mean?
Listen to me, please, Michaela. Look, I'm leaving the island.
I thought you loved me.
Will you let me finish? I want to take you with me.
Leave the island? Leave my father?
That's right.
You don't love me. If you loved me, you wouldn't ask that of me.
But that's why I want to take you away from here, because I do love you.
You want me to be killed with bombs and die of diseases?
Look, I wouldn't ask you to go with me if I did.
Charles, kiss me.
Michaela. Now do you believe me?
Oh, yes. Yes, I believe you.
All right, then it's settled.
But what about Father? What if he tries to stop me?
It's a chance we've got to take.
I'm afraid, Charles. It's funny. All my life he's talked about keeping me safe, and all I've ever really been afraid of is him.
Look, Michaela, you trust me, don't you? You're not afraid of me.
Oh, no. With you, I could never be afraid, even if bombs were falling all around us.
Then you'll help me. You'll help us get away.
Yes. Oh, yes, Charles.
Our getaway was planned for the following night. We'd chosen it because the natives were celebrating one of their feast days, which meant that most of Jerome's police force would be AWOL or drunk. Jerome himself was over in the native compound, making like a white king among the savages. He was wearing a lei over his dinner jacket, enjoying the drummers.
Ah, Remington. You're just in time for the shark dance.
That's a bit of luck.
I suppose Mr. Hacker has gone to look for my headman.
I wouldn't know.
He'll be disappointed, I fear. Kauna is in the warrior's hut making ready for the shark dance.
I didn't know your headman was a dancer.
Oh, they're all dancers, dear boy, but Kauna is something special. In this he dances both the part of the shark and that of the fisherman who spears him.
You know, say.
Yes, I'm sorry Michaela had to miss it. She had a headache, poor girl, and had to remain in the bungalow.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Just as a precaution, however, I disconnected the wires to the power switch that controls the floodgates. Oh, what's the matter, dear boy? You look quite pale.
Okay, Jerome, okay, you've won this round. But you must know you can't keep us here forever.
We shall see about that. Here comes Coda now. Now we shall see some dancing, my boy.
The only difference between the shark dance and the others I'd seen was the wicked-looking fish spear that Kahuna kept brandishing as he went through his paces. Jerome's attention was riveted on the dancers, and someone touched my sleeve. It was Michaela.
Charles, the most terrible thing has happened. The floodgates.
I know. Your father just told me.
Well, how did he find out? Who told him?
Hacker. Who else?
Yes, but...
I should have known when we heard that headman of a diving for pearls.
I don't understand.
Look over there to the north.
Smoke.
Hacker's getting up steam for a getaway in the yacht. He spilled that plan to your father to divert his attention to our boat in the lagoon. Kahuna's probably in it with him for his getaway plus a cut of the pearls.
Where's Kahuna now?
Out there with the dancers, making like a shark.
What are we going to do?
Hacker can't get that yacht out without help, so we may as well watch the dancing for a while.
That's strange.
What?
That isn't the shark dance he's doing.
What is it?
I don't know. Charles!
What is it? What's the matter?
Father, watch out! That spear! He's going to... Oh, Father! Charles, the spear's in his
Look,
chest!
you stay here. You stay right here. He's dead, Michaela. I'm sorry. Look, you go back to the house. Wait for me. I won't be long.
Where are you going?
I'm going to tell Mr. Hacker that his sailing will be postponed indefinitely. I could have saved myself a hike across the island. Hacker didn't have a prayer of navigating that inlet without the headman's help, and Kahuna never made it to the North Shore. A couple of Jerome's gendarmes cut him down just outside the compound, just like they did the Hacker on the boat. I found the pearls in the galley, cans labeled coffee, sugar, and flour. I picked out enough for a matching string for Michaela, and I dumped the rest back into the water. It was a crazy thing to do, but as I look back on it, maybe it wasn't so crazy after all. In a way, Jerome was right. It was a nice island. And the way things are going in the world, I might want to go back and settle down there myself someday. So, why spoil it?
Escape, produced and directed by David Friedkin and Morton Fine, has brought you The King of Owantu, a story by Robert Tallman. Featured in the cast were Anthony Barrett, Clayton Post, and Joseph Kearns. Also heard were Sammy Hill and Jack Carroll. Your announcer, Bill Anders. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are somewhere in the Pacific, out of Leyte in the Philippines, charting a course of south by southeast, when out of the deep of the sea, a new volcano is born, and your ship is caught in the middle of it, from which there is no escape.
So listen next week when Escape brings you Vincent McHugh's story, The Boiling Sea. Stay tuned now for Night Watch, which follows immediately on most of these stations. America listens most to the CBS Radio Network.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are somewhere in the Pacific, out of Leyte in the Philippines, charting a course of south by southeast, when out of the deep of the sea, a new volcano is born, and your ship is caught in the middle of it, from which there is no escape.
Listen now as Escape brings you Vincent McHugh's story, The Boiling Sea.
It should have been an easy trip. It was the spring of 45. The war was almost over, and what few Japs were left that far south didn't figure to give us any trouble. I was first mate of the Hopi Victory, hauling cargo with the landings in the Philippines. For this trip, we detoured south to the tiny island of Carazurti in the Moluccas to pick up a detachment of Rangers, the demolition team, and bring them up to Samar. We cleared for the north about 1830 hours, and as darkness fell, I went out on deck. There I found Lieutenant Drury, the Ranger CO, and his staff sergeant watching Gamkamura, the volcano, over on the island.
Hi, McCallum.
Evening, mate.
Quite a sight, isn't it?
Sure is, but it'll get better. We passed closer to it off Tenati. In the dark, you can see the lava spouting like 4th of July.
We got to look at a small one back on Cazaruti. Inactive. This whole group of islands on both sides of the strait is volcanic, you tell me.
That's right.
You can have my share of them. That big baby there used to keep us awake nights, rumbling.
Well, they aren't exactly conducive to peace of mind, I'll admit, Sergeant, but they're very interesting. I'd like a chance to study one more closely.
No, not for me, Lieutenant.
Well, probably won't get another chance now. The men all comfortable, Sergeant?
Well, it ain't the Queen Mary, sir, but they're okay.
Sorry. This baby wasn't meant for troop transport.
No matter. We're used to improvising. Well, night, gentlemen.
Night,
sir.
sir.
Nice guy.
The best. One of them guys with principles. Serious. You know, educated. Them kind usually get clobbered first thing. But he's come through. Plenty.
You have a time back there in Cazaruti?
Not much. Jap radio station. Half starved out already. Of course, they put up a fight. They always do. But not so bad. Hey, look at that thing. Belching smoke a mile high. Flashing like...
Yeah. Spectacular, all right.
Hey, Lieutenant, could I interest you in a human scalp tanned with mangrove bark? Got me a couple of extra back there. Sell one cheap.
No, thanks, Sergeant. I got one scalp. I hope that'll last me the run. That night, for the first time since we left home, I couldn't get to sleep. I tried reading a while and gave that up, too. Finally, I got a cup of coffee and took one up to Hannigan on the bridge.
Hey, thanks, Mac. Just what I needed.
We sipped our coffee quietly. The bosun stood silently at the wheel. The time was 04:25 hours. We were steaming up through the Molucca Passage. Course 1 degree true, speed 18 knots. A smooth, gentle swell. The phosphorescence in the bow wash was bright enough to show our hands and faces. It was peaceful.
Hey, Mac, you smell anything?
Coffee?
Bob, come here, stand over here.
Yeah, a little sulfur and something that smells like wet dust.
That's what I thought, too, sir.
Well, couldn't it... Say, isn't there a volcano over there in Halmahera where you might be getting a little land breeze?
Yeah, but we passed it an hour back. I'll take it. I got him.
You guys spitting over the side up there?
What's the matter, Brian?
I just happened to notice my intake water's heating up.
How much?
Well, it's supposed to be about 25 degrees centigrade around here. It's 29 now. We're pulling sludge, too. Looks like pumice.
Okay. Guess you better call the captain, Hannigan. Smell that, Captain?
Yes. You checked the ship, Mr. McCallum?
Yes, sir. Boyd and Foreman went over it, too. Nothing wrong.
Yes. Well, stop the engines.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hannigan, you checked our position?
Yes, Captain. It's verified here on the chart.
Sonic depth finder on, Mr. Grange?
Yes, sir. Turned it on right away. Reads 1143 fathoms.
I see here. This is where we are, about 35 miles west of Gambaki and Halmahera. Nautical miles, that is.
Yes, sir.
Now, over here, you see, less than 3 miles northwest, you've got a Gea. Somebody reported a shoal there once. Hasn't been found again since. Might be anywhere in the general vicinity. You see here? It's marked 18 fathoms.
E.G. Existence doubtful.
Reported February 1871. Well, if there is something there, it can't be anything but a submarine mountain. Not well as depths all around it.
Yes, probably volcanic. One of those buggers that push up, and sink back down again. Got some of them up in the boonies. But all we've got to go on is this old captain that came through here in 1871. Probably a whaler. Didn't care where he was, so long as he had his foot on a fish.
You think he could have got his bearings in Halmahera?
Can't tell, I suppose.
Now, here's this old fellow dawdling through here in February. Northwest monsoon at its height. Fairly good winds, mostly north or west of north. Current set's about 2 knots with the wind, so if he's out in his reckoning, you see, it's probably because he's farther over to the south and east than he thought. Like this.
Mm-hmm. That puts us pretty close to the trouble. We can't go off to the southeast because we don't know how far out he was.
If he was out. Now, here, we could go this way, but it seems foolish to backtack on our course and then go west to get clear. Don't see why we wouldn't be safe if we cut across the angle to the southwest.
Sounds right to me, Captain.
Yes, sir, should be safe enough.
Well, let's hope so. Mr. Grange, stand by the depth finder and sing out if you get any shoaling.
Yes, sir.
The ship was at dawn GQ, where the engine stopped. An eerie ocean silence hung over everything. It was still dark, but a soft glimmer was beginning to show behind the peaks on Halmahera.
Start the engines, half speed.
Yes, sir, half speed.
The returning pulse of the engines, like a reviving heartbeat, seemed to bring the ship back to life.
You're about 225.
225. Our pie victory began to gather way, turning. The bosun got her around, met her, and settled on course. Hannigan stood by the bridge form. For minutes we stood quietly, watching, waiting. Now there was a rosy smear in the east behind us, a gloaming on the sea. I could just make out the bow and a man silhouetted in the crow's nest above us.
Hannigan. Right, Brownie. Engine room says 32 degrees centigrade, Captain.
Up 3 degrees.
Yeah. Stay on the phone, Mr. Hannigan. Report any change. In another few minutes, we'll be able to see a little more.
Captain, man in the crow's nest. He's waiting.
Captain, thermometer reads 38 fathoms.
Rock's dead ahead.
Full left rudder.
Full left rudder.
We could see it now, not 500 yards ahead. Nothing in a nightmare had ever been so awful as that jagged, rocky crest hunching and lifting like the back of a great dawn lizard in the yellow light. It came fuming out of the sea, slimy with the first mud of creation. The slow swell pitched up on it. We could feel its deep, grumbling roar through the noise of the engines. The ship was turning now. No one spoke. We stared with slow understanding of the horror that began to form in all our minds. The monster was not a single peak. The ridge we'd seen coming up in the southwest was extending itself in a long curve of points and benches all across the south.
Keep it turning! Keep it turning!
But it was already too late. Clear across the red-pink wash of dawn, a black spur joined onto the east. And when we looked north, the swell was looking up on a jag of new rock that thickened to the west and hooked on down into the southwest. The Hopi victory was completely encircled. We were trapped in the middle of an emerging volcano.
You are listening to The Boiling Sea, tonight's presentation of Escape. Keep the family intact this holiday weekend by driving safely. Observe speed laws. Stay on your side of the road and don't try to save time at the risk of losing a lifetime. Driving's more relaxed, more fun that way, and safer, too. And now back to Escape and the second act of The Boiling Sea.
Seconds for the full impact of the situation to hit us. Encircled. Trapped in a crater of jagged rising peaks on every quarter of the compass. Still, nobody said anything until Captain Hazard spoke in a quiet voice.
All right. Stop the engine.
Then we all knew. The wash dropped away and the Hopi victory settled, floating dead in a fuming black-brown lake that bubbled like mud coming to a boil. The terrible, stony rumbling jarred up through the soles of our shoes.
Well, I got you fellas into this.
Oh, no, Captain, you did the best you could.
How could anyone know where an uncharted mountain would come up out of the sea?
Hannigan.
I don't want to get you fellas too excited up there, but you better quit smoking. We're getting 68 degrees centigrade on this thing. Got the eggs you want boiled? What is going on up there?
Brownie, we're in a volcano.
Well, I always told you something like this would happen. You know, you gotta watch where you're going.
68 degrees centigrade, sir.
Well, Jonah made it. Yeah, we don't know. Maybe there's a hole in it somewhere. We can wait till it settles down, get the boats out.
Yes, by golly. Gave me an idea, Mr. McCallum. If we do a good job of surveying, maybe they'll forgive us for getting into it in the first place.
No one mentioned the chance that we might never get out. We lived in the crater of a mountain in eruption. It was still working and thrusting, but its force had begun to die down. In the west and southwest, its highest peaks were maybe 50, 60 feet above the sea. In the north and northwest, much lower, we could see the swell breaking over it in places.
Mr. Hannigan, you will check and recheck the position?
Yes, Captain.
Mr. Grandjean, you will take bearings and measurements of the rim, starting at 0 degrees and working all around the compass.
Yes, sir.
Mr. McCallum, you will pass the word that we're going to try getting out of here just as soon as the first shock is over. Don't want them to think we're not doing anything.
Yes, sir.
Might let the people down in the engine room know, and the gun crew, and tell Lieutenant Drury and his rangers.
Yes, sir.
All right? Thank you, gentlemen.
I carried the message to the other officers. Men were hanging over the rail looking at the dead fish in the putrid water. Everybody was coughing. Sickly gases came up in spurts and slow blobs. Here and there a small geyser pattered down stones and mud on the water. There was a wash of gloomy sun on the crags to the west. Beyond lay the glimmer of the Molucca Passage, like the hope of life itself. It seemed very distant now. At breakfast, the captain was still cheerful.
All right, gentlemen, we may as well eat. May not have another chance for a while.
What do you think, sir?
Well, looks as if the first one is about over. We'll get the boats out after breakfast. See if we can't find a hole in it. Just a Western omelet for me, mess.
What if we can't do that, sir?
Maybe we can find a place to get the boats across. Isn't far to Halmahera, you know, about 36 miles, but I'd hate to... Wish I knew more about how these volcanoes behave. It might sink down again in an hour or two, or it might keep building up.
Could I make a suggestion, Captain Hazard?
Yes, go ahead, Lieutenant Drury.
My boys are trained in demolition work. If we can find the right place, I think we might be able to blast a hole big enough for the ship to get through.
Yes, thank you, Lieutenant. Yes, we've been thinking the same thing. Only trouble is, a blast like that might set the whole business off. I suppose we'd better wait till we've tried everything else first.
We take the boats out right after breakfast, sir?
Yes, Mr. McCallum. You will take one and go north to the rim. Follow it to the east. Mr. Hannigan will take the other south and follow it west. Lieutenant Drury, a detail of your rangers can go in each boat.
What about communication, sir?
Yeah. Too bad we don't have radios in the boats. We'll have to use flare guns. One flare if you find a hole big enough for the ship. Confirm it with a handlet. Then 2 flares to command. The usual recall signal.
Yes, sir.
Well, gentlemen, we're in God's hands now.
50 yards, sir. These are in slowly, bosun, right into the rocks.
Yes, sir.
Take a look at that water, Mac. You ever see anything like it? Slimy, gas bubbling up.
Not very inviting. Take a look at what's ahead, Lieutenant.
Yeah. Doesn't look like any rock I've ever seen before. There's something monstrous, something tortured about it.
Yeah. It's all yours, Lieutenant.
Ready, Sergeant Votar?
Ready, sir.
Easy, bosun. All right, hold it. Steady.
All right, you guys. Go! Okay.
Good. Now hand over the picks. Get specimens of the rock. Votar, you going up the top and check.
Yes.
This doesn't look very promising.
No, it's only 20 feet high, but we haven't got enough explosives to blast through here. Must be gaps somewhere.
There's Votar on top.
Votar! Can you see anything?
About 40 feet across.
Any breaks to the east?
Can't see any. Can't tell for sure, though.
All right. Come back. We'll go down farther.
We cruised slowly along the rim through the dirty, brown-black simmering water, stopping every few hundred yards to break off specimens of rock. It was hot. We felt as if our bodies were drenched in a heated grease. The crater had a general downhill trend to the eastward. In the northeast sector, it came to what appeared to its lowest point. Here, the swell broke clear across the shallow peak.
This is the best place for blasting we've seen yet.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Might be possible.
Let me take 4 of my men on those rocks and try to find some likely openings for charges, just in case.
Okay. Move in close again, bosun. Listen, Drury. Those rocks are wet, and that swell has plenty of power. Watch yourselves.
Don't worry about us, matey. We don't mind wet feet.
Uh-huh. Set her easy, bosun.
Okay, boys, over we go. Come on, get the lead out.
All right, men. Spring out. Look for traps.
I'll weld her off, bosun. You stand by with the line secured, ready to toss them just in case.
How about this, mate? You think we'll have to try it?
Last resort? I don't know, Walt. Looks like maybe, unless Hannigan found something, we should have.
I don't know. Blasting in this stuff is like lighting a firecracker in a dynamite factory.
We may have to take the chance.
Yeah, look back there toward the ship. That dirty yellow guck. We ought to break out the gas mask. We had gas mask.
What was that? An explosion, sir. Underneath us. The whole thing's going up.
No, it's sinking. Look, the men, they're sinking.
From the line, bosun, hurry. Heave. Drury, grab the line. Get your men on it. We'll pull you in. That's it. Pass it on, all of you. Hurry. All right. They're all on. Heave. Bring them in. Heave. Fast as you can. Heave.
Okay, here's Drury.
Heave. Get them in. Hurry. Come on, Drury. Come on. What's happening? The whole thing's moving. Keep heaving.
Both off. Where's both off?
Got him right there. Come on, up, heave. Out of here. Keep pulling, man. Keep pulling. All right, here's the next one.
That'd be close to that 3.
All right, coming easier now. Here's another.
That's Hangley. 4.
Come on, fella, grab, huh?
One more. Stop.
All right, get quick so we can get out of here. The line's coming too fast.
Hang on,
Trouble. Where's trouble? Wait, Lieutenant. Stop him, Walt.
Hold it, Drury. You can't do it.
Trouble's still in there. You can't go back in without a line. Tie it around his waist, Walt.
I'm going to.
All right, but tie him to that line. Then we'll be able to haul you back.
They went over the side, disappearing into the murk on the sludgy water. The sharks were increasing in violence now. They jabbed their teeth in our heads. We looked toward the ship and saw the western rim of the crater thrusting up in a great wall behind it. Then Walt's head appeared close to the boat, his face black, and he shook a hopeless no. He dived again 2 or 3 times and then let us pull him in. But Drury wouldn't give up.
Come on, pull him in. He's fighting us. Well, fight him back and get him into this boat. Yes, sir. Here, I'll give you a hand.
Let me go. We've got to get trouble. Let me go.
You can't waste any more time. Get in. It's no use, Drury.
He's in there somewhere. We can't just let him stay there.
No. Come on. All right, Wilson, take her off.
McCullum.
I'm sorry about trouble, Lieutenant, but he is one man. There are 100 men back there in the hope by victory.
Yeah. Sorry. It's getting worse every minute. If we're going to do anything, we got to do it fast.
Hey, look. Over there where the rock sank. That gap's big enough for the ship?
Yeah, maybe. But is it deep enough?
It's got to be. The whole thing may go up any minute like a Roman camp.
All right. Bosun, fire one flare. Walt, get the hand lead.
I've got it. All coiled.
Don't heave or drag it. 10 fathoms. We'll quarter across the gap. Sing out if you feel anything. The boat moved slowly across the old edge of the crater and out into the open sea. Walt, holding the lead line, shook his head at me. He felt nothing. I turned carefully in the swell and quartered back into the crater. I could see the Hope by Victory creeping toward us. She'd recalled Hannigan's boat and was dragging ahead of her in a narrow S-curve. They were like vessels under shell fire. The whole center of the crater was writhing with smoke and erupting geysers of mud and stone, and sea rocks falling on the deck. Behind the ship, the western crags now jutted 300 feet high, lifting and working in black agony. The ship was coming on fast. We were the last chance. You feel anything, Walt?
Nothing. Can they make it, sir?
They've got to. Fire 2 flares. And we'll stand out to sea and make a target for them.
They better hurry. This thing's about to blow its top.
All right, here, too, Bosun. We'll stand here.
You'll never make it. That gap's too small.
We're a tight squeeze. The captain's got it perfectly centered.
Yeah, well, he's better. He's coming full speed, and he misses.
Hannigan's through. Another minute, we'll know. Men, if they crash, we'll have to work fast.
Unless the shock is enough to set the whole thing off.
Here they come. Swell's breaking on the bow.
He's not flanking Spade, and it's too small. It's too small.
They're in. She's coming through. She's coming through.
Hey!
We're not out of the ship.
Hey, he's not cutting his speed.
He's not going to leave us here. Calm down. He's standing between the 2 boats. He'll get us on one side and Hannigan on the other.
Look, Captain's signaling from the bridge.
Bosun, give her full speed. Give her everything you've got. Parallel his course.
That's the kiss, Bob. And hang on. We'll pick you up later.
You heard him. Both our dory, Walt. Help me get that line when it's thrown down and don't miss.
Right.
Here they are. Both steady against the bow wash, Bosun. Over to the alongside. All right, here comes the line. Got it. Break fast. Hurry before we lose the sight. And make it good and fast. Give it a rush, Bosun. All right, we're fast.
Brother, just in time.
All right, Bosun. You cut the engine. We're on the top.
Man. So we ain't gonna sleep on a bed of coals tonight.
Brother, I ain't never felt anything so good as the pull on that line.
20 knots, full speed.
pulling us away fast. Maybe 2 miles already.
Can't be too fast for me.
Look at that thing, will you? It's an inferno.
Yeah, sure.
Look! Look!
All of it. The whole thing.
It did blow its top.
Walt, help the bosun with the tiller. Hold her in. Grab the gas rod, Drury. Help me knot her back as far as we can. And stay down, everybody. Stay down. There's a wave coming. A tidal wave.
Look at it.
Come on, pull. Now hold. All right, get down, everybody. Keep down.
We thought we were safe. 50, 60, maybe 100 feet. We'll take the whole ship.
Get down and hang on, then. Here it comes. Here it comes. Look out! Everybody all right?
I don't know how, but we're all right, Mac.
That wave had lifted us to the level of the rail of the Hopi Victory. But a seismic wave does not crest an open sea, so it came as one great smooth swell that lifted us high and passed and let us swoop back down again. A few minutes later, the ship picked us up, and we all paused to look back at the emblem of fire we left behind us.
Well, I guess maybe the captain was right. We must have been in the hands of God. All except trouble.
Yeah. All except trouble.
Well, Lieutenant, you wanted to study a volcano close to?
Did I? Well, remind me, Votor, to cross that study off my list.
Escape, produced and directed by David Friedkin and Morton Fine, has brought you The Boiling Sea, a story by Vincent McHugh, and adapted for radio by John Dunkel. Featured in the cast were Ted DeCorsia, Herb Butterfield, Harry Bartell, Herb Ellis, and Tony Barrett. Also heard were Jack Moyles, Clayton Post, and Jim Hayward. Your announcer, Bill Anders. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are stranded with a Carnival just this side of the Iron Curtain, when out of nowhere a fortune is within your grasp, riding a number on a roulette wheel hundreds of feet high. While at your shoulder, laughing at you, a killer clown from whom there is no escape.
So listen next week when Escape brings you David Friedkin and Morton Fine's story, Carnival in Vienna. Stay tuned now for Night Watch, which follows immediately over most of these stations. There's comedy with My Little Margie, Sunday nights on the CBS Radio Network.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure. You are stranded with a Carnival just this side of the Iron Curtain. When out of nowhere, a fortune is within your grasp. Riding a number on a roulette wheel hundreds of feet high. While at your shoulder, laughing at you, a killer clown from whom there is no escape. Listen now as Escape brings you David Friedkin and Morton Fine's story, Carnival in Vienna. Days, the row of tenements used to be called the Schottenhof. Then there was a war, and it was called rubble. Then it was cleaned up, and it was just an empty space in the older part of Vienna. That's where the Carnival set up. Pitch and wind stands, wheels, the midway act on the high wire for a bally, rides, palm readers, and the biggest Ferris wheel this side of the Rhine. 20 carriages, and a 4-minute ride. And myself, front gate superintendent. John Ashcroft Allison. A nice sounding name. John Ashcroft Allison. The head calls me Hare, which is Mister. That's the way it is. And there's Lily, who works the gab whenever it's needed. She's got red hair. We get along fine. Anna, that better?
Thank you. Every time you pass this shiny thing and hear anything, you start and open, straighten, look at your hair.
What of it good for you?
The next time.
$10 American money. Maroon.
The silk.
Pink. Silk.
And open. Liar.
What do you mean?
Liar, you are vain. You are proud and you have nothing to be proud of. You are hasty. You are a thief. You are...
What do you mean?
Thief. Don't go out to another.
Tell you what?
You and me, the plans you have.
Oh, baby. One of these days, back to the States.
You'll never go this way. You cannot, I know.
You always tell you?
Last night you said it all. And although I did not want to...
Oh, I bet you didn't.
Although I did not want to hear, they told me you were a forger in a safe house in Syria. Where you were a Carnival as a man who had handwriting characteristics.
Well, and once the guy wrote down his name for me to analyze, and I saved his signature and forged it for 3 months all over the place before he almost caught up with me. And one day I would have told you. You didn't have to.
I didn't do anything. There was Frank and he told me.
Oh, listen.
And he told me how you fled from your country to Europe, and how he met you, and how you've been traveling from Carnival to Carnival.
Oh, you're listening. Come on, let's walk. Listen, Lily.
These are meetings, not so?
Clown, why don't you do something about that clown? Why should I do something about him? I like him. I'm just by the way he laughs. But a wooden clown. A wooden clown, a mechanism. Listen to him. Listen to him. It's a purely mechanical laugh. Contrived to induce customers into my hall of mirrors. Privacy upsets you. Annoys you.
laugh.
Come on. But as you see here, Arlington, as if he knows you and laughs at you, and knows you stop and preen like a peacock and laughs at you.
Just want to tell you something, cousin. My advice. Change the record in that hunt. In that clown. What do you want?
As if you were upon your shoulder, laughing at you.
Huh?
Answer.
Oh, it's not bad.
Laughing at you.
Now, let's forget it, huh?
I love to watch you perform. Come on.
And his face is a barber.
Here, let us go home.
What's the matter? Huh? Yeah. Who is it? Zip way.
Ik zou de hele circuit aan een tijd te maken. Dat nu.
Joey.
Hond te keren.
Let's take a walk.
Het auto. Nee, volgens die
How about you, Joey? Back of the crib.
What's wrong?
Back here. Hi, Joey.
What's nice you?
Been friends, haven't we? Bumped into each other in a silver bar and buddies right off.
Sure.
Besides the fact you're a good boy. Good friend. Good shield for any Connie in the world, right? Oh, right. I don't mind you took a drink and spilled a little about me. One way or another, she had to find out.
Well, what's this all about?
You, heisted a wallet just now.
Huh?
From a guy. Tourist, right? Tourist, huh? He was with blonde from Maxie's. He had to be a tourist. The way he was dressed. Green shorts and a feather in his hat. Into the wallet, Joey.
I'll take no wallet.
Talk to me like that, Joey. You're close to death.
I'm telling you, I didn't do it.
Come on.
Get it? Get
Now we'll take the wallet, huh, Joey? Here, Joey, inside your shirt. Sure you have. Let's see. Tourist, all right. All Mac, Boston Mac. Card. Where's the dough? Where's the dough, Joey? You already left the dough on it? Wait a minute. You know what, Joey? You'll never know. Bye, pal. Chum, friend of mine.
One day it'll catch up to you. One day it'll catch up to you. And when it does,
I didn't look at him anymore. Not at Joey. At John Ashcroft Allison looking out at me from the aluminum side of the trailer. Hand on the knot of a $10 tie. And he winked back at me, and his lips shaped the words I was saying. $23,000. Letter of credit in Mr. Paul Mack's wallet, complete with identification card. So I looked around for the green shorts, the man with a feather in his hat, with a blonde from Mack. And the way it happened, I bumped into them coming out of a mirror. I trailed them over to the Ferris wheel, watched Mr. Mack drop down some change for a couple of tickets. Waited until they got into a carriage in a wheel. And it started up again. Then I walked over to Otter. He was operating.
Alan.
Hello, Otter. Working on it?
Not hard. Let's just take the wheel down and pull it back.
Hey, how about you and, Marley?
I never got to see her. Although she works right over there, we only get the way. Then, when we are both off, her boyfriend comes and takes her away.
Why don't you go over and talk to her? Sure, well, I'll take over the wheel.
I would certainly like to come out and talk to you.
Go on, Peter. Biggest Ferris wheel this side of the river. 20 carriages in a 4-minute ride. Mr. Paul Mack from Boston, Mass. in the green one with a blonde, enjoying. To keep him in the carriage like get his $23,000. That was the trick. A 20-to-1 shot. Scoop a handful of sand and gravel off the ground. Into the oil intake. Another handful. Another. 4 minutes with 14 times around. 8 times. Nothing happened. 5. 11. The biggest wheel in the world. Flying the gas has become a green with a couple of handfuls. I think it didn't work. Maybe I need another minute. Maybe I... When I opened them, the wheel had stopped spinning. Carriage at the top was green. I knew there wasn't a chance of that wheel coming down for a long, long time. And there wasn't a ladder that high that could get them down. $23,000 on a 20-to-1 shot. I just hit. You are listening to Carnival in Vienna, tonight's presentation of Escape. Edgar Bergen fans will be doubly delighted with the new Edgar Bergen Show with Charlie McCarthy. Remember, Sunday nights on most of these stations, the new Edgar Bergen Show with Charlie McCarthy. And now back to Escape and the second act of Carnival in Vienna. And the big wheel not spinning anymore against the Vienna sky. And for a little while, the small riot of Carney wound down. New attraction added to early afternoon where the Danube flows. And how the kids took to it, climbed the girders and hung from them like skinny rag dolls and kicked their feet into Otto's face who was going crazy trying to fix his Ferris wheel. And a small detail of Russian soldiers took to it, too, grinning up at the merchandise display of black cotton stockings and Bohemian petticoats. And at the very, very, very top, oh, very, a gent from Boston, Mass, with his arms wrapped around a blonde from everywhere. I told Otto to handle it the best way he could. I'd round up some refugees to give him a hand. And I walked away from it. Down the midway, past the gas station, past the shooting gallery, past him, past the clock. Where the Carney started to die and got to be mud and litter and broken straw, where the trailers were, mine bright and shinier than the rest. Because there was a displaced shoreline very handy with a dust cloth. It needed to work. And the John, class in penmanship. Oh, gentle, the writing hand. Pull, circle, and fan. And then Johnny Allison into Paul Mack. Gent from Boston, Mass. Paul Mack. Paul Mack. Johnny boy. What you doing, Johnny boy?
bottle of schnapps over in the cupboard, Joey. Drink yourself dead.
No.
Maybe you don't understand because you're fuzzed up. You're not wanted, Joey.
Oh, now that hurts. Hurts when you say it to an old friend. But you could buy back my affection. I like you, Johnny. I don't want not to like you.
Lush. Read it, Lush.
Don't talk like that, Johnny. You made a noise like $23,000 when I heard you laugh. I don't know the angle, but I want in. Half, Johnny.
You're petting your dream to Madame Sauda. It's her pitch, not mine.
What was you doing when I come in, Johnny? Writing letters? Practicing, maybe? Getting old feeling digits just there. Just let me see, Johnny.
Face away from
You didn't even let me speak. But I got something I want you to see, Johnny. I brought it just to show you.
Oh, Joey. You really are fussed, aren't you?
No. All this here gun does, Johnny, all it does in the world is to make you and me buddies. I squeezes on it just a little bit, and all it says, you hear it, Johnny? All it says is buddy. Like it was a mama dog. You say half to me, Johnny. Say half for $23,000. I don't squeeze no more.
Give it to me, Joey. Give me the gun, and then you can go hit the schnapps bottle. Give me, Joey. You can squeeze the schnapps.
You just stay right down on the floor, Johnny, so it'll go up between your eyes.
Give me, Joey. Oh, drop it. Oh, throw it away.
I'll kill it. Johnny boy, don't do this.
Give me.
Sure. Here, take it. Nobody can play you for a second, Johnny boy. You help me up, and I'll...
Got to be a dreamer. This. Just like this. He was as dead as I could make him. I picked him up, carried him to my car, propped his body in the front seat next to me. Whoever may have seen it figured the only thing to figure. Joey was stoned again. And Johnny Allison was nursing him, like he'd done 1,002 times. It took 15 minutes to drive out to the edge of the Russian zone, along it to a square block of rubble, behind it to an alley. I opened a bottle of schnapps I'd remembered to bring along, rinsed out my mouth with, and poured the rest down Joey's throat. I slid the bottle into his coat pocket, eased him out of the car. What was in the alley was some garbage cans scraped clean, some bony dogs who just stared, and a no-name Lush. In the trailer, by 1:30, I could forge the signature of Mr. Paul Mack with the pen between my teeth. 8 letters, straight up and down, with a couple of curls in between. I was in the Vienna State National Bank. It'll stop it.
Good afternoon, sir. What can we do for you this afternoon?
Will you do business with me this afternoon, my hair? Here, my letter of credit, my identification card. I'm Paul Mack of Boston, Massachusetts.
Of course.
Well, my dear, let's get with it.
Of course, Herr Mack.
Something,
Nothing. Everything is in proper order.
Only what?
When you telephoned yesterday, you informed us you would not come here until 10 tomorrow morning.
Oh, you mean...
When you telephoned yesterday, it was at noon. Surely you do remember.
Oh, surely I do remember, my dear. Something came up to change my plans, so I'm here now this afternoon. Does that make a difference?
No. Surely no. Except only that it gives us short notice to gather the money. $5,000, was it not?
23,000, my dear.
That's the notation I had. Here, I'll show you. Here, that you telephoned yesterday. That you would come tomorrow. That is the 5,000. There you go.
Somebody made a mistake. Now, look, I've got a deal. I need every cent left of my letter of credit. 23,000. Cash, dollars, Swiss or American. Make a choice.
Of course, Mr. Mack. Will you sign this paper for me so that I may compare signature? The formality only, isn't it?
Oh, I want to.
Again.
Thank you.
moment longer. I must corroborate with her. The formality.
No, sure. I'll wait.
Is all of it should be, Mr. Mack. Your money's in this parcel. $23,000.
Thank you, my man.
An offer soon. To sign this receipt.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Thank you. You understand how much the necessity of caution. However, there's the thing, if you don't mind it.
Look, I'm in a hurry. What's eating you?
How does it feel? How does a man feel when he can step into the bank, ask for tens of thousands of dollars, and get it?
Good. Feels good. Wonderful. Johnny, baby. Open up. Oh, come here. Oh, baby.
And I need to. I'm a fool. Oh, but Johnny's excitement. The building stopped, and a minute, the very top of it, screaming at the appearance. How is a man robbed the ship on top of stairs?
Yeah, it's funny. Lily, we're leaving.
Yeah?
Yeah. What do you want, Lily? What are the dreams? Paris, Rome, London? Dream one over me, baby. Johnny Allison makes it come true. Grab a coat, Lily. From this minute, it's all you'll ever need.
Where are we going?
I told you, whatever ride you want. Whatever bauble to lay against your neck or your fingers or your toes.
Is the man who you say to front gate superintendent of the cheap side street Carnival?
With $23,000.
Lisa, what are you talking about?
I hit. Like I always said I was. $23,000 worth. Now, come on, cover it with a coat.
Where did you get that money, Johnny?
Oh, what difference? It's clean. It makes a pretty sound when rubbed together. Make it whisper and it buys mink for you and silk for me. Like I saw once in a shop in Rome. That's it, baby. First stop Rome, so Johnny can look good, so Johnny can look swell, so Johnny can...
You stole it, didn't you?
I promoted it, baby.
You stole it from the American who screamed from the top of the stairs.
Me, baby, me, Johnny Allison. Come on.
Get out.
Huh?
Get out. I want no part of you.
It's me you're talking to, Lily. The man with the promises, the man with the dreams. So don't...
Promise me. Dream man of nothing. Peace. Who will go with you? Not Lily. Not I.
You're lousing it, baby.
Not with you. Promise man, dream man. Stupid man of angers and gimmicks and promoting that. Is that because you hate the truth of yourself?
Anything else you need to say?
You are like Joe and laugh. Drunk with yourself. Drunk with your stupidity. Drunk with your drunkenness. Joe, it's Johnny Ellison, it's Joe. Joe.
Shouldn't have called me that. Not Joey. You shouldn't. Lily needed. With her fingers down clenched and trail along the floor. For the life to go out of her. And then get out. Walk, don't run to the midway.
crowd and the Ferris wheel moving now. Midway in the Palace of Fun, the back exit to the world, through the Hall of Mirrors, and I was on my way. Until the clown laughed, but this time I didn't care. Johnny Allison on his way with $23,000 to take him wherever he wanted to go. The Hall of Mirrors. I know it like a book. Like I knew the back of my hand. Turn a corner. Not this way. Sometimes a guy forgets. Palace of Fun. Hall of Mirrors. Pay a dime to get in. It's fun trying to get out. Wherever I went, Johnny Allison came right back at me. I was in Johnny Allison. He's trying to beat a 10-cent dodge. Easy. I didn't see myself. I wouldn't be there, would I? Oh, would I? I couldn't get all of them. Oh, too many. Johnny, it was me. He didn't look so good anymore. Didn't look like anybody I knew. Like Joey, maybe. Like Joe. Oh, he's dead.
On the floor. To kill a girl, then to hide in the Hall of Mirrors. Such stupidity? Perhaps not. For here a man can laugh at death. As Johnny laughed, Johnny. And here a man can observe himself in 1,000 mirrors. Johnny. From every angle. That is, if a man can stand looking at himself. Come on.
Escape has brought you Carnival in Vienna, a story written and directed by David Friedkin and Morton Fine. Featured in the cast were Jack Moyles, Lillian Byas, Jack Crucian, and Hans Conried. Also heard were Barney Phillips, Robert Boone, and George Peroni. Your announcer, George Walsh. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week. You are flying a plane high above the island of Masafuera, 300 miles off the coast of Chile. Beside you, a beautiful woman. And only she knows it's the last stop. The last time around, a death trap from which there is no escape. So listen next week when Escape brings you Tony Barrett's story, There Was a Crooked Man.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You stare down from the heights of your plane, and your brain keeps whispering, it's Masafuera, that's all it is. Just an island 300 miles off the coast of Chile. But both you and the beautiful girl beside you know it's more than that. It's the last stop, the last time around. A death trap from which there is no escape.
Listen now as Escape brings you Tony Barrett's story, The Target.
The drink, senor. You see how quick?
Another one of your talents. You can make like a waiter when necessary, huh?
In Chile, senor, a man does many things to live. The waiter was busy, so I got the drinks. It's not a reason for anger.
All right, Pepe, all right, forget it.
You are angry.
Look, let's not play games. He's an hour late now. Where is he?
Perez? He will be here. I watch with great care. He has not come in yet. Trust me, senor.
Haven't got much choice, have I? His being late, is that part of the build-up, part of the sale?
You demand promptness in informers, senor?
You ought to be used to it by now, huh? You never get used to it. Because you want something. An assurance that this time you're buying the right thing, the magic word.
Senor.
The whereabouts of Arthur Matson. And you fall for it every time. You move on to where the whispered words said to go. Caracas and Lima, Cochabamba.
And now, Tautan?
Tautan. Sit in one more crummy little bar. Wait for one more sly little man with a word for sale.
How long you search for him, this Arthur Matson?
A year. You watching that door? You sure Perez hasn't come in? You sure you know him?
I know Perez, senor. Why don't you relax yourself, senor? Think of something of more pleasantness.
Like what?
Like the lady of great beauty in the next booth. From your country, is she not, senor?
Yeah, way off base.
Okay?
A joint like this, she must be out of her mind. Well, that's fine. All we need now is our beef. Go see what it's all about, Betty.
See, I'll be right back. Senor Kennedy, come here quickly.
Betty, what is it?
Look, senor. There on the floor. Is he dead, senor?
What do you think? That knife's got him pinned to the floor.
I'm sorry for your sake, senor.
What are you talking about?
The dead one. He is the one you are waiting for. He is Paris.
Another blank. Another dead end.
What is it? What happened?
Forget it.
I've got to see.
You wouldn't want to. It used to be a man named Perez.
Listen, get me out of here now. Please, I can't be found here.
Relax. It's a killing. Want a drink?
I've got to get out, please.
Pepe, wait here for me. Come on, lady. Stay close to me. There's a cab.
Aren't you coming?
No, you'll be all right. Cops will be here in a few minutes. A lot of questions. They'll want answers.
Tell the driver Cuevas Hotel.
Carretera. Tiene la señorita al Hotel Cuevas. I'm at the Royale. Call me in an hour.
Who will I ask for?
Kennedy. Vic Kennedy. My turn.
Eve Coleman.
You'll call?
In an hour.
She was lovely, senor.
Yeah.
What will you say if the police ask about her?
That she didn't like blood.
Bueno.
Come on, Pepe. You know what the deal will be. The cops will come. They'll see. They'll ask questions. And it'll end in drinks for everyone.
Because life here is cheap, no?
I didn't make it that way. Come on, I'll buy you a drink. We'll drink to Perez.
He was an informer, senor.
You always drink to a dead man. Even if you wouldn't give him the time of day while he was alive.
If you say so, senor.
I say.
You are an unhappy man, senor. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, I'm an unhappy man.
Once in your room, you will sleep, senor.
I told you I want to talk. Come on.
Buenas
noches, Senor Kennedy.
Evening. Any messages for me?
No, Senor.
You sure? No phone calls?
No, Senor, I am sorry.
Get me Miss Eve Coleman at the Hotel Cuevas.
Of course. You take it in your room, Senor.
Now take it here.
Momentito.
Senor, you sure you don't want...
Stick around, Pepe.
Hola, por favor, la señorita Coleman está aquí. Senor Kennedy, you said Senorita Eve Coleman.
That's what I said.
La señorita Coleman no está aquí. Gracias. I am sorry, Senor, but there is no one registered there by that name. Senor.
All right, forget it.
The lovely one who did not like blood?
Yeah. This ain't my day.
Senor, why don't you...
I told you I didn't want to sleep, but want to talk.
Well. Do come in, dear boy, do. Surprised?
Yeah. I was under the impression this was my room.
That's not much of a greeting for a man who's come all the way from Hartford just to see you. You getting all your manners, Kennedy?
This is Pepe Galvan. Mr. O'Brien, Pepe, chief claims man of the company that puts clothes on my back. Be nice to him. He's a big man.
I think I better...
Yeah, Pepe. Social call, O'Brien? You come 2,000 miles just to see me? You're spending company money.
Oh, we've plenty of it, dear boy. Even after pouring your expenses down the drain. Considerable expenses, I'd say. Sit down.
You can take me off at any time you like. You got a better man? Put him on it.
No, dear boy. Temper. Wouldn't be fair to you, would it, Kennedy? After all, Arthur Matson was in your custody when he escaped with his bank's $100,000.
You come all this way just to tell me that?
You have a new idea back home, Kennedy. That perhaps you're not trying too hard to find Arthur Matson. That from your point of view, it might be just the thing you don't want to do. I make myself clear?
You don't have to fire me, O'Brien. I quit right now.
Now, don't be an idiot, Kennedy. You could tell them they were right. You'll never get another insurance job as long as you live. You know Santiago, Kennedy?
Boat's still run. I can get there. Why?
Well, I didn't come down here just to fight with you. You got one last chance. Now, listen to me. Malsafuera is an island 300 miles off Santiago.
I know where it is, Senor.
A return on an office wanted describes an American living there. The description fits Arthur Matson. You hear me?
I heard you. Now take a look.
Do, dear boy, do. Huh? Now tell them back in Hartford that you're still trying. Bye, dear boy. Bye.
Pepe, you really know Santiago?
Si, senor.
You still got a job. Get down to the docks, get passage for both of us for tomorrow.
Si, senor. It's a 3-day trip, you know, on a fruit boat.
I'd have to make this one if it was a rowboat. Pick me up in the morning.
The cabin is not so bad, senor. You wish to...
No, I'll go out on deck for a while. You unpack.
Si, senor. I do that.
I never even said thanks, did I, Vic? Vic? You're angry.
No.
You're angry you helped a girl who never said thanks.
And never called. Why? Was it too much trouble?
Poor Vic. Sweet Vic.
Pigeon, Vic. Si, senor. This is the Hotel Cuevas. No, senor. There's no lady here by name of Eve Coleman. Sorry. Now, why? A joke? A whim? What?
Not a whim.
I want an answer.
It's too long a story. Vic. Sweet Vic.
I got the time.
We got the time. You're wasting it. You're waiting. You talk too much. You know that?
Yeah. Bad habit.
sit down. I'll set up these deck chairs. Here you are.
Happy?
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Deck chairs should always touch. Closer, darling.
Better?
You know, someday somebody's going to get smart and make a deck chair for two. You're quiet.
It's a setup. To sit with a girl like you to look out at places with names like Antofagasta, Caldera. You could get to like it.
Yes.
Eve.
Yes?
Eve, the way you ran out on me in Taltan. Now you're here.
Questions. I can see them coming.
Where are you going?
To get dressed. I'll see you at dinner, darling. You'll be pleased.
Senor?
Sit down, Pepe.
You look like a man who is in love, but is not happy about it. Something wrong, senor?
Old habit. Occupational hazard. You always add. If 2 and 2 don't come up 4, it's bad. If it comes 4 too easy, bad again.
Si, senor.
I want you to get a radiogram off for me to Hartford, Connecticut, to an insurance company.
What is it, Vic?
Nothing.
Nothing, the man says, just like that. And his eyes narrow and his lips tighten, and he wonders how to begin. And when I ask him, what does he say? Nothing. That's what he says. And he fingers a sheet of paper in his pocket, hopes I don't notice it.
Very pretty. You're good with words.
Vic.
I got a present for you. A new set of words, and they hurt.
Vic, please.
Because they tell me something. That there is no Eve Coleman. Only a girl who calls herself that. A girl who's...
Who's really Mrs. Arthur Matson?
Yeah.
That's who I am. Mrs. Arthur Matson. Any complaints? Any...
No.
Vic! Hi, Vic.
You are listening to The Target, tonight's presentation of Escape. Tune in Monday night and meet Corliss Archer here on CBS Radio. Remember, on most of these stations, every Monday night, come on and meet Corliss Archer. And now back to Escape and the second act of The Target.
What is it?
It's Laura. Invite me in, Vic?
You know the way in.
They asked me if you were seasick when you didn't show for dinner.
I'm sick.
I missed you.
Yeah.
Did it hurt to stay away from me, Vic? Tell me how much it hurt.
Get out of here.
Is it the name? Is that what bothers you? Why don't you try it, darling? It's easy. Laura Matson. Nice?
What is it with you? What kind of dame are you?
You ask that? You?
Look.
At what? A child who reached for the moon and sulked because he found it a different color? You can't afford to sulk, Vic, not you.
What?
The last time I saw my husband was an hour after his escape from you. How does a little man like Arthur Matson get away from a man your size, Vic? How? He buys us.
You're out of your mind.
You want the price? $5,000. Arthur told me. Hurting me won't change it, darling. Doesn't change anything.
You lied, dear. You hear what I say?
I don't care.
Don't you understand that? Not about any of it. I love you, darling.
I...
Say it. I want to hear you say it. Vic.
I love you, Laura.
Senor.
Did you find out anything?
Catch my breath.
Where
senor.
is she, Pepe? Where? I tried her cabin every place.
Easy, senor. I just found out from one of the seamen. He saw her leave the moment we docked. She was the first one off.
What? Well, she couldn't have...
You sure? It's what he say. It must be so, senor. She's nowhere to be found. I'm sorry, senor.
Now, you take the stuff to the hotel. I got things to do. Be with the Santiago police most of the day.
Which hotel, senor?
What's the best?
Casa Santiago. Right on the beach. It's nice for swimming.
All right, that's it then. Last time around, might as well go first class.
Must have been a long visit with the police. It's after 8, senor.
Haven't seen the chief yet. He's at the other end of the city all day. Should be here in any minute.
Then I see you in the morning. You like the room, the radio?
Yeah, fine.
Senor Kennedy?
That's right. You, Captain Delgado?
Very late, Delgado, with much apology.
For what? Come on in.
For taking so long to return your call.
Oh, forget it. You didn't know I was coming.
But, of course, I did, senor. Your Senor O'Brien said so.
Sit down, senor. Drink?
A nice idea, senor. Very nice.
O'Brien phoned you, huh?
See, I think we talked for maybe 20 minutes. A long time.
Yeah, O'Brien can talk. Here's your drink.
Gracias. Acara lo que merezca, senor.
My Spanish isn't that good.
Translation. To each what he deserves. How you call philosophical, no?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure O'Brien told you the whole setup, then.
See, everything.
Uh-huh. What do you think?
It's possible this Arthur Matson is on Masafuera. If so, he won't be hard to find. A wild island, senor. Beautiful, but no different than it was thousands of years ago.
Primitive, huh?
See, they will know if an American lives on that island.
They, don't you know?
O'Brien, amigo, he asks me the same question, and I try to explain to him.
Explain what, Delgado?
The simple fact that Masafuera is just an island and that I have no, how you call, jurisdiction there. Comprende?
Yeah, I understand.
And then we have no problems.
None.
Bueno, the day has been long, and the bed will be as a friend. If there is anything I can do for you here in Santiago, you will give me that pleasure?
You've done it already, senor.
And then I say good night to you, senor, and good hunting. I hope you find this Arthur Matson before she does.
She?
The young lady. The lovely young lady who asks my lieutenant about Matson only this afternoon. Buenas noches.
Open your eyes, Vic. For me.
Laura.
A man alone on the beach at night is trying to wash something out of his mind.
Oh, Laura.
No questions? No where have you been?
I know where you've been. Doesn't matter.
Say it, Vic. I want to hear it.
I love you, Laura.
Again.
I love you.
Oh. Sweet Vic.
Laura's Vic.
Worried, Vic. Matson, what are we going to do about him?
Kill him, darling.
Why, Laura? Why?
You've always known you'd have to do it.
Now, listen.
You took a bribe, darling, remember. I don't want my Vic in prison. I want him with me. Close to me. Kill him, darling.
Laura.
All that money. Little nothing like him sitting on an island with all that money. Our money. You hear me, darling? You understand?
Our money, Laura.
There's a plane in the morning to Masafuera. We'll be on it together.
We'll be on it. Like manhunting, Laura?
Oh, not 8 hours of it.
Delgado didn't tell me it was all uphill.
Vic.
Huh? What is it?
Clearing just ahead. I think it's the top.
It better be. Come on.
In time for dinner, Mr. Kennedy. I waited almost a year for you. You're looking well, tired, but well.
Hello, Arthur.
You want to freshen up, my dear.
Arthur.
And while you do, I'll entertain Mr. Kennedy. Show him what my island has to recommend it. Freshen up, Laura.
Matson.
Now, let me play host, Kennedy. I'm out of practice, but let me try. Your drink, Laura? Yours, Kennedy? Lost his mind. Is that what you're thinking, Kennedy? That Arthur Matson lost his mind? A man who shows you a shabby little house he loves and a stone terrace he built himself and makes you a drink as civilized people do. Values change, Kennedy. This is all I care about now. This terrace, the view from it, even the rocks 100 feet below. A great lesson, Kennedy. From here, everyone's a little man.
I'm glad you're happy, little man.
How am I going to die, Kennedy? Will you use a knife? A gun? How?
What's the matter with you?
I don't mind. Not really. I've had a year away from her. A whole year. You'll pray for your island. It won't take too long.
You're crazy.
Laura's doing better with you, Kennedy. You're going to kill for her. I only stole for her.
You stole for yourself, Matson.
So, that's what she fed you. Oh, poor Kennedy.
Shut up. Shut up.
You told him I had the money, Laura? Lovely, lovely.
Kill him, Vic. Now. What are you waiting for?
Who's got it, Matson? Who?
She has, you idiot. She's always had it, but I'm the only one who knows it, aren't I, Laura? With me alive, you'd never be safe, never be completely sure. You're going to do your own killing, Laura.
You let him live too long, Vic. He shouldn't have said that. Don't move, Vic.
You're going to kill us both, Laura?
Both.
Like you killed the little man in the bar back in Towtown?
I bought that, darling. You were getting too close. Say goodbye, Arthur. Nicely.
Not alone.
No.
I won't go alone.
No! Vic! Help! Help me!
You don't need help. Not anymore. I need it now.
Under the direction of David Friedkin and Morton Fine, Escape has brought you The Target, a story by Tony Barrett. Featured in the cast were Whitfield Connor and Mary Jane Croft. Also heard were Edgar Barrier, Herb Butterfield, Hans Conried, Melissa Milo, and Jay Novello. Your announcer, George Walsh. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You're at the end of a journey you've committed murder to make. A barren wasteland of India, silent, desolate, where there is a cave and a carved image of the goddess Kali, whose heart is a ruby, big as a grenade, and which is guarded by a smiling old man, from whom there is no escape.
So listen next week when Escape brings you Ross Murray's story, The Red Heart of Kali. An honest doctor resists temptation but gets into trouble anyway tomorrow night when Mr. and Mrs. North bring us their latest thrilling mystery. Don't forget, CBS Radio has a date for mystery with Mr. and Mrs. North tomorrow night, and you're welcome too on most of these same stations. Stay tuned now for Night Watch, which follows immediately over most of these stations. Where there's Gunsmoke, there's Western Adventure, Monday nights on the CBS Radio Network.